Chapter 161 Last Person. Doden, Earth-style, Schwanglongba. Two giant rock dragons rose into the sky and went straight to the Iwagakure to bombard them. Sensing the movement behind him, several Iwagakure turned their heads. Not good. With the help of the starlight, these Iwagakure suddenly saw that two giant rock dragons had rushed over. Hurry up! Iwagakure who discovered the giant rock dragons only had time to remind them that two giant rock dragons had arrived. Boom! Just hearing two loud noises, two giant rock dragons bombarded the ground directly. Two Iwagakure were hit by the giant rock dragon on the spot because they couldn't dodge in time, and the whole person was directly smashed to pieces. Flying around, some Iwagakure couldn't dodge and get hit by huge rocks. Rock giant dragon, it's him. One of Iwagakure's face changed dramatically, his expression became very complicated, with fear and hatred. The attackers are there, attack quickly. At this time, someone finally found Dongshenyao. Whoosh whoosh. A burst of shuriken and kunai fluttered, and a large number of hidden weapons of different styles hit Dongshenyao. As for these hidden weapons, Dongshenyao did not dodge at all, and rushed towards them directly. Tinkle. Many hidden weapons hit Dongshenyao, but in the end there was a crisp sound. Although Dongshenyao's clothes were torn by the hidden weapon, his body was fine. At this time, Dongshenyao has already undergone elementalization, and his body has turned into a hard rock. These shuriken and kunai can't hurt him at all. Finally, Tashinyao approached these Iwagakure. PFF'd. A knife, an Iwagakure was directly cut off by Dongshenyao. And just when Dongshenyao just killed an Iwagakure, a soil gun came over. Boom. The earth gun bombarded Dongshenyao's body, although Dongshenyao was not injured, but the huge force made him stumble a bit, but this stopped Dongshenyao's progress. Go. Several Iwagakure greeted each other, they directly surrounded Dongshenyao. Whoosh whoosh. Four Iwagakure turned into black shadows and rushed towards Tashinyao, while waving their kunai to attack Tashinyao's vital parts. Dongshenyao didn't dodge at all and let these people attack. Dang dang dang. Kuwu stabbed Dongshenyao on his body, but it was like hitting on steel, and couldn't hurt him at all. At this time, Dongshenyao waved his shadow-cutting knife. PFF'd. PFF'd. Two Iwagakure were directly beheaded by Dongshenyao, and the other one was pierced by Dongshenyao's heart, but turned into a pool of mud. The devil, he is the devil. Iwagakure, who survived, looked at Dongshenyao in horror. Kill. Captain Iwagakure knew he had to shoot. Special Jonin, but it's not enough. Dongshenyao smiled slightly, and now the general Special Jonin is no longer in his eyes. Doden, Earth-style, rockfall. Dongshenyao waved his hand, and suddenly a huge rock fell from the sky and smashed towards Captain Iwagakure. Not good. Seeing this, Captain Iwagakure hurriedly dodged. Boom. The rock hit the ground, but it didn't hit anyone, but Captain Iwagakure had just landed when he suddenly found that his feet were soft, and the place where he fell turned into a swamp. Bang! The smoke rose, and when Captain Iwagakure was about to sink into the swamp, he hurriedly used the substitute technique to escape. But before Captain Iwagakure could breathe a sigh of relief, Tashinyao had already attacked. Dang dang dang. The symphony of gold and iron sounded, and the two fought to one place. A total of 16 people came to Iwagakure this time, but after Dongshenyao's repeated attacks, there were only 9 people left alive, and several of them were injured. Seeing that Tashinyao was entangled by their captain, the other Iwagakure rushed to help. PFF'd. An Iwagakure's kunai stabbed Dongshenyao, and the next moment, smoke rose and Dongshenyao disappeared. Not good. It's shadow clone. Doden, Earth-style, quicksand art. The figure of Dongshenyao appeared dozens of meters away, and his hands were on the ground at this time. The next moment, I saw that the ground beneath the feet of Captain Iwagakure and the others turned into a piece of quicksand, and the quicksand was still flowing clockwise, emitting a strong suction. Compared with the swamp, quicksand is more powerful, especially the flowing quicksand, because it has a suction force, so once it is entangled, it will be difficult to leave. With his powerful strength, Captain Iwagakure jumped out the moment the quicksand appeared. The remaining Iwagakure were also full of tricks. Some Iwagakure managed to escape, but some suffered. Ah, help! The two Iwagakure were directly sucked in by the quicksand and disappeared. It didn't take long for blood to gush out of the quicksand. Apparently the two Iwagakure had been crushed by the quicksand. This is not ordinary quicksand, but a skill released by Dong Shenyao. Damn! Captain Iwagakure was furious as he saw that two more people were killed by Ta Shenyao. Captain Iwagakure was angry, but there was nothing he could do, because he couldn't beat Ta Shenyao. The battle continued. Dong Shenyao transformed into a butcher, and every minute or so an Iwagakure would die in his hands, some killed by the shadow sword, or some by his skills. However, in just a few minutes, there were only two Iwagakure left. One was the strongest Captain Iwagakure, and the other was an old friend of Dong Shenyao, who was also deliberately left by Dong Shenyao and not killed. Now you can die. Ta Shenyao looked at Captain Iwagakure and said, I'm going to kill you. At this time, Captain Iwagakure was going crazy. Almost all a dozen people in his group were killed by Ta Shenyao. Captain Iwagakure knew that their mission this time was a failure, so he would kill him even if he died. Die Dong Shenyao. Doden, Earth Style, Earth Dragon Bullet. It's useless. Dong Shenyao shook his head. He didn't see any movement, and a rock shield had appeared in front of him, blocking all the earth bombs. Doden, Earth Style, 10-finger piercing. Whoosh whoosh. Stone bullets shot out and quickly hit Captain Iwagakure. Dang dang dang. Captain Iwagakure swung the kunai to resist the stone bullets, but the speed of the stone bullets was too fast, and from time to time, a few of them would pass by Captain Iwagakure's body, leaving wounds on his body. Go to hell. Doden, Earth Style, Earth Thorn Combo. As Ta Shenyao shouted loudly, soil thorns rose from the ground beneath Captain Iwagakure's feet. Facing the stone bullets, he was already exhausted, and was unable to dodge the sudden earth thorns. Puff puff. An instant, Captain Iwagakure was pierced by countless earth thorns and turned into a hedgehog. We meet again. At this time, Dong Shenyao suddenly looked at the last Iwagakure and smiled. Chapter 162 Revenge, Murder. Iwagakure still alive, Ta Shenyao suddenly laughed. We meet again. It's you, it really is you. Hearing Dong Shenyao's words, the name Iwagakure suddenly shouted in horror. Although he had already guessed it when he saw too long before, he has not really confirmed its identity until now. That's right, it's me. I didn't expect to meet again here. At this point, the Iwagakure didn't know whether to cry or laugh. This time, he took the initiative to invite Ying to come to the country of fire to vent his hatred for Dong Shenyao, but now that he really saw it, the name Iwagakure realized that in addition to hatred for Dong Shenyao, he was more afraid of Dong Shenyao. Shoujong, I'm very happy to see you again. Dong Shenyao didn't expect to meet Shoujong here. When Shoujong fought against Kimura Fumino during the Chunin exam, he wanted to kill Kimura Fumino, but he was finally killed. Ta Shenyao stopped. Originally, Ta Shenyao was going to take revenge for Kimura Fumino, but unfortunately the two did not meet. After the Chunin exam, Shoujong followed the team back to Iwagakure village, which gave Ta Shenyao no chance to take revenge at all, but he didn't expect it. This time, when I perform the Anbu mission, I will meet Shoujong. In fact, the encounter between the two has a lot to do with Shoujong himself. This time, the Iwagakure village knows that Iwagakure, who went to the country of fire to destroy it, may not survive in the end, so the people sent here are all those who have exhausted their potential. Ninja. Can be seen from the age of the Iwagakure who came here. They are all in their 20s and 30s, but most of their strengths are only Genin and Chunin. It can be said that they are like this in this life, and there is no potential for improvement. So Iwagakure village sent them, just to let them play the last residual heat. There is no room for improvement anyway, so it is good to cause some damage to the country of fire before death. Shoujong is young, and he is considered a little genius in Iwagakure village. Originally, this kind of task was not his turn, but in order to retaliate against Konoha, Shojong offered to participate in the task. Since returning to Iwagakure village, Shojong has not been able to sleep well every day. All he thinks of is Dong Shenyao. He hates Dong Shenyao and wants to get revenge on him, so this time he came to the country of fire. Shojong, it was cool to abuse Wenyi last time, Dong Shenyao said in a frivolous tone. At this time, Shojong looked terrified, and he was too scared to speak. Don't be afraid of Shojong. Don't worry, I won't kill you so soon. Dong Shenyao suddenly raised a finger. Doden, earth style, one finger piercing. Whoosh. A stone bullet was shot out, and instantly pierced Shojong's arm. Ah! The screams sounded, and blood flowed down the hole. Dong Shenyao did not stop. Whoosh whoosh. 3 more stone bullets were fired. PFF'd, PFF'd, PFF'd. In an instant, Shojong's other arm and both legs were pierced by stone bullets. One of them was unsteady, and Shojong fell directly to the ground. Tattoo. The sound of footsteps sounded, and Dong Shenyao slowly walked to Shojong. How is it? Isn't it fun? Don't worry, it's not over yet. Although I can't see Dong Shenyao's expression, Shojong can already imagine it. Kill me, please kill me. Shojong wailed. He regrets it now, regrets why he came to the country of fire, why not stay in the village of Iwagakure. Thorns. Dong Shenyao waved his hand, and a thorn suddenly burst out from the ground. PFF'd. Shojong couldn't dodge at all, and was directly pierced by earth thorns. Ah! The screams sounded, and the show felt not only pain, but also humiliation. Because this thorn directly pierced his chrysanthemum. The technique of quicksand. Under the manipulation of Dong Shenyao, the ground under Shojong slowly turned into quicksand. The quicksand turned, and Shojong's body slowly sank into the quicksand. These quicksands are like grinding discs, constantly eroding Shojong's body. The pain that is stronger than 1,000 cuts invades Shojong's body. The screams continue to sound, and by the end of the show, there is no strength to shout. 5 minutes later, Shojong died completely, and his flesh and blood were mixed with quicksand. At the same time, Dong Shenyao received a notification from the system that his mission had been completed. Wenyi, I have already avenged you. With a cold smile, Dong Shenyao turned around and walked over to Captain Iwagakure's body. After taking out a scroll, Dong Shenyao directly sealed Captain Iwagakure's body into the scroll. Doden, earth style, burial. Looking at the corpses around him, Dong Shenyao suddenly shouted. The next moment, the earth erupted. Boom! Like a magma eruption, countless soils rose into the sky, and the ground cracked. At this time, within a radius of 100 meters, it was like a natural disaster. The ground collapsed, and countless things on the ground collapsed towards the bottom. After 3 minutes, everything was calm. At this time, the 100 meters in front of Dong Shenyao turned into ruins, all the trees disappeared, and even the body was buried in the ground. Hoo-hoo, it's done. Dong Shenyao gasped slightly. Dong Shenyao was a little tired of using this skill to control such a large area of land, and it lasted for such a long time. Huh! Suddenly Dong Shenyao looked at the woods on one side with alertness. Whoosh whoosh. Not long after, there was a sound of breaking the air, and then 3 people in Anbu costumes came out of the woods. Anbu. Dong Shenyao frowned slightly, not knowing what Anbu did here. You are the emperor. I saw Anbu wearing a monkey face mask looking at Dong Shenyao and asking, but what caught Dong Shenyao's attention was that this man had a pair of white pupils. It's from the Hyuga clan. Yes, I am the emperor. Who are you? We are Anbu, who directly belongs to Lord Hokage. Lord Hokage learned that you had just completed the mission and was worried about your safety, so he sent us to assist you, but now it seems that we have 5.9 extra. Speaking of this, the name Anbu turned his head to look at the ruins on the side, and a hint of surprise flashed in his eyes. From the ruins, we could see how fierce the battle just now was. The battle is over, we can go back. Dong Shenyao said calmly. 3 Anbu didn't speak anymore. The next moment, the three spread out their bodies and ran towards the distance. Seeing this, Dong Shenyao just followed silently. The four of them didn't go too far. Maybe they were worried that Dong Shenyao had just been exhausted by the battle, so the three Anbu stopped after walking a few miles. Just stay here for the night, and come back to Konoha tomorrow. Anbu, who had Byakugan, looked at Dongshin and said. Dong Shenyao didn't speak either, and directly made 2 earthen houses. This ability is quite convenient. Looking at Sachiya, the 3 Anbu were a little surprised. Chapter 163 Practice with Tsunade. With the earthen house made by Dong Shenyao, there is no need to sleep in the wilderness, because it was getting late, and Dong Shenyao simply ate some dry food and went straight to rest. After getting up early the next morning, Dong Shenyao destroyed 2 earthen houses and set out on the road with 3 other Anbu. Because Anbu wants to hide his identity, even within Anbu, he rarely knows each other's true identities, so the few people along the way didn't speak, just hurried on the road silently. Finally, when it was just dark, the 4 returned to the village of Konoha. Village, Dong Shenyao was going to go directly to Jiyan to hand over the task, but was stopped by the 3 Anbu sent by Senju Tobarama. The task of the Emperor was specially explained by Lord Hokage, so you go directly to Lord Hokage and hand in the task. Oh so, hearing Anbu's words, Dong Shenyao could only give up looking for Jiyan, and followed the 3 Anbu to Hokage's office. After seeing Dong Shenyao, Senju Tobarama did not speak to him directly, but first waved Anbu back from the room, and then said, Yao, there is no one else here, you took off your mask. Quote. Hearing that, Dong Shenyao didn't hesitate and took off his mask directly. Perhaps it was because of the fact that he often wore a mask recently. At this time, Dong Shenyao's cheeks turned whiter than before. Yao, are you still used to being in Anbu? Senju Tobarama asked with a look of concern. Thanks to Grandpa Hokage for caring, I stayed well in Anbu. It's good to get used to it, but this task is my negligence. I thought it was a good task for you to complete, but I didn't expect you to just come back from other tasks. Senju Tobarama said, a little embarrassed. Seeing the sincerity on Senju Tobarama's face, Tashinyao was also relieved. What he was actually most afraid of was that Senju Tobarama had done this on purpose and wanted to get rid of him. Although Senju Tobarama is not as dark as Danzo, he knows that Senju Tobarama is not a kind person, as can be seen from his attitude towards the Uchiha family. It can be seen from the original work that the rebellion of the Uchiha clan later had a great relationship with Senju Tobarama's arrangement. If he hadn't deliberately pushed the Uchiha clan out of the top of Konoha, and even made the people of Konoha village hostile to the Uchiha clan, Uchiha might not have been in the end. Give birth to the heart of rebellion. Therefore, regarding Senju Tobarama, Dong Shenyao has always been vigilant, and he is more careful everywhere, not daring to show some of his special abilities. Because he remembers that Senju Tobarama is also a researcher, whether it is the art of Hiraishin or the impure world reincarnation developed by Senju Tobarama. Once let Senju Tobarama know some of his abilities, Tashinyao can't guarantee that Senju Tobarama will let him off easily. The biggest possibility is to study him as an experimental subject. Grandpa Hokage, as a Konoha ninja, I deserve to do my best for the village. Although I just finished the mission, I wasn't injured, so I should continue to perform other missions. Tashinyao said with a righteous look. Hearing that, Senju Tobarama's eyes flashed with joy, and Dong Shenyao was able to care about the village wholeheartedly, which was what Senju Tobarama wanted to see most. Although Senju Tobarama's reaction was cryptic, Tashinyao still found out, which made him happy. Isn't he acting so great just to win Senju Tobarama's favor? No matter what, Senju Tobarama is now Hokage, and getting his favor is still very helpful to Dong Shenyao. Senju Tobarama did not continue to mention this matter, but changed the subject. Yo, how is the task completed? Grandpa Hokage, the mission has been completed, all the invading Iwagakure have been killed. Said, Tashinyao took out 2 scrolls and handed them to Senju Tobarama. One of the 2 scrolls is the mission manual, and the other is the corpse of Captain Iwagakure sealed. Well, you did a good job. It seems that you are really suitable for Anbu's work. Well, you are tired after performing 2 tasks in a row. Now go back and have a rest. I will give you a vacation during this time. 3 days later go to Anbu to report again. Senju Tobarama said with great satisfaction. Thank you, Grandpa Hokage. Dong Shenyao did not refuse. After all, it was too much. He was too enthusiastic and it was easy for Senju Tobarama to perceive the problem. Because it was already night time, after saying goodbye to Senju Tobarama, Dong Shenyao first had dinner at a small shop on the street, and then went straight home to rest. Although he was not injured in the battle these days, Dong Shenyao was really tired, so he immediately started to rest after returning home. The next day, Ta Shenyao was woken up by Tsunade. Yao, did you miss me? Yesterday I learned from Grandpa that you came back from a mission, and I came here to find you today. Tsunade said with a beaming expression. Tsunade, you also know that I just finished my mission. I am really tired, can't you let me sleep a little longer? Dong Shenyao complained. Sorry about that, have you forgotten? Tsunade said with some embarrassment. She was really excited. Yesterday, after learning that Dong Shenyao was back, Tsunade didn't sleep well all night. She couldn't wait to find Dong Shenyao early this morning, so that she could see him earlier, but she forgot let Dong Shenyao have a good rest. Na Yao, don't be angry, I'll go first, you can go back to sleep. Why are you still sleeping? 747 is not sleepy anymore. After speaking, Dong Shenyao got up directly. He wasn't really angry. After all, he was very happy to be able to make Tsunade care about him so much. Dong Shenyao took Tsunade out for breakfast as usual. Tsunade, have you been lazy while I'm away? Dong Shenyao asked while eating breakfast. Of course not anymore, they worked very hard. Well, let's play one game all the time, let me see how much you've improved. Okay, Tsunade seemed eager to try. When the two of them practiced before, they also practiced against each other, but every time Tsunade was only abused. During this time, Tsunade had specially asked Senju Tobarama to instruct him to practice, in order to shorten the distance with Dong Shenyao. Now Tsunade wanted to see how far he was from Dong Shenyao. After breakfast, Dong Shenyao and the two quickly came to the training ground. Tsunade, let's go. Okay. Tsunade was not polite, and with a force on his feet, his body flew out instantly. Yes, the speed has become faster. While commenting, Dong Shenyao avoided Tsunade's attack on one side, and then reached out and grabbed Tsunade's wrist. Chapter 164 2 years. After Dong Shenyao raised his hand and grabbed Tsunade's wrist, he tried to pull Tsunade into his arms as soon as he exerted force, but after he exerted force, he found that Tsunade didn't move. Hey, the strength has really increased a lot. Although Dong Shenyao didn't use his full strength at this time, the strength was enough to shake Tsunade after the two had learned from each other before. Yo, I said I'll make you look good. With a smug smile, Tsunade kicked Dong Shenyao's leg. Seeing this, Dong Shenyao quickly let go of Tsunade's hand, and then jumped back to avoid Tsunade's attack. Yes, I have made great progress, but I have to be serious. Speaking of this, Dong Shenyao exerted his strength and disappeared in place in an instant. Where? Tsunade found that his eyes couldn't keep up with Ta Shenyao's movements. Where are you looking? Suddenly, Dong Shenyao's voice came from behind Tsunade. When? Tsunade was stunned. Little Tsunade, looks like you've lost again. Dong Shenyao smiled. Yes, but I don't think so. Tsunade's voice sounded, but it came from behind Ta Shenyao. Hearing a bang, the Tsunade in front of Dong Shenyao turned into smoke and disappeared, and then a kunai was placed on Dong Shenyao's neck. Yo is the one who lost this time. Tsunade suppressed the excitement in his heart and said. Tsunade, are you sure? Dong Shenyao smiled mysteriously. What? Tsunade didn't respond for a while. From this, we can see the importance of combat experience. If it is replaced by ninjas with rich combat experience, even if the strength is not as good as the current Tsunade, it will be abnormal. Unfortunately, Tsunade does not. Doden, Earth Style, Decapitation in the Heart. Dong Shenyao's arm suddenly stretched out from under Tsunade's feet, and before Tsunade didn't react at all, he had already pulled her into the soil. How about Tsunade, who lost this time? Dong Shenyao stood on the ground, looking at Tsunade with only one head exposed. You're a fool. People are only practicing taijutsu with you, but you use ninjutsu. Tsunade said in disapproval. Then don't you still use shadow clone? Dong Shenyao retorted. It's a girl, Tsunade exclaimed. Hearing this, Dong Shenyao was speechless. It is true that girls sometimes have privileges. Well, it's my fault. Said, Dong Shenyao quickly manipulated the earth element to split the earth and let Tsunade out. Tsunade, I have to say that you have made a lot of progress, but your combat experience is too poor. Dong Shenyao commented. I know, but there's no way out. I also want to find other ninjas to fight to gain combat experience, but the second grandpa won't let me. Tsunade said helplessly. Okay, don't worry about combat experience. You are still young, just work hard to increase your strength. After you graduate from the ninja school, you will naturally perform tasks to gain experience. Dong Shenyao persuaded. Yao, people want to graduate early like you, and they can perform tasks with you at that time. But the second grandfather is too abhorrent to let people graduate early. Tsunade said very angrily. Grandpa Hokage, this is also for your own good. After all, you are too young now, so you don't need to be so anxious. Anyway, you will graduate in 2 years. Dong Shenyao comforted. Got it, Tsunade said reluctantly. The 3-day rest period is fleeting. In the past 3 days, in addition to accompany Tsunade to practice, Dong Shenyao also met with Kudo-shun and the others. Since Dong Shenyao joined Anbu, Kudo-shun and his group once again lost one person. And the two are still genin now, so they can only follow Uehara Kai to perform the task again. 3 days later, Dong Shenyao returned to Anbu. Time is like flowing water, it never returns. Every day Dong Shenyao repeats the same thing, either cultivating or performing tasks. Anbu's in the second team have recognized Dong Shenyao, or are convinced by his strength. Especially in the several times of the team's overall actions, Dong Shenyao's strength was not inferior to that of the team leader Ji Yan, which made others dare not underestimate Dong Shenyao. More than 2 years passed quickly. At this time, Dong Shenyao was 9 years old, and the time came to Konoha's 17th year. Meteorites fall. In a plain area in the Land of Fire, a man wearing a cat face mask was standing on the ground, his left hand lowered to his side, and his right hand raised high. The next moment, suddenly a huge meteorite appeared in the sky. No, he's the Emperor. Seeing the huge meteorite appearing in the sky, the faces of several ninjas wearing Iwagakure's foreheads changed suddenly. 2 years ago, the name of the Emperor gradually appeared in the ninja world. It was nothing at first, but as time went by, the name of the Emperor gradually spread into the villages of Iwagakure and Sunagakure. Half a year ago, with Iwagakure after the 3 Jonins of the village were killed at the hands of the Emperor at the same time, the name of the Emperor was thoroughly known to many ninja villages. Although the Emperor's strength is not comparable to those of the peak powerhouses, but being able to kill Jonin easily, this strength is enough to attract the attention of other villages. At this time, the 5 Iwagakure felt bitter in their hearts. They didn't expect that they would encounter the Emperor this time. However, there was no time for them to regret it at this time. A meteorite with a diameter of 10 meters in the sky had already fallen. Doden, Earth Style, Earth Dragon Bullet. Doden, Earth Style, Dirt Wall. Futon, Wind Style, Vacuum Sphere. 5 Iwagakure tried their best to resist the meteorite attack. However, this meteorite is composed of very solid rock, and with the impact of falling, its power is amazing. The Earth Dragon Bullet hit the meteorite and could not cause any damage to the meteorite at all, and the Earth flow wall was shattered by the meteorite at the moment of contact. As for Vacuum Sphere, shuriken and other attacks, it did not cause much harm to the meteorite. Boom! The meteorite bombarded the ground, and immediately set off endless dust and smoke, and the air waves spread around. The cat-faced Anbu was less than 100 meters away from the place where the meteorite fell, and the air wave soon approached the cat-faced Anbu, but the cat-faced Anbu did not mean to resist. Seeing that the air wave was about to reach the cat-faced Anbu, at this moment, stone walls rose up around him, directly blocking the cat-faced Anbu in the middle. After the air wave approached, it was completely blocked by the stone wall. Byakugan. On Byakugan, Anbu with a cat face clearly saw that 3 of the 5 Iwagakure were directly killed by the meteorite, and the remaining 2 escaped, but were injured by the splashing rubble. Buried. Cat-faced Anbu spit out 2 words, and the next moment, the ground in the distance changed. Boom! The earth shook like an earthquake. Chapter 165 Crisis. The earth trembled, cracking every inch of the earth, like an earthquake. The 2 Iwagakure who were still alive were already injured, and it was difficult to even stand against the undulating ground. Soon the 2 fell to the ground one by one, and were swept in by the cracks in the ground. Boom boom boom. The earth is constantly cracking and closing, the whole ground is churning, and the sky is covered with thick smoke, which is an apocalyptic scene. After 2 full minutes, everything returned to calm. When the smoke dissipated, I saw that the originally flat ground had disappeared. There were countless broken stones around the big crater smashed by the meteorite, and a tragic scene after a natural disaster emerged within more than 100 meters around. 3 Chunin, 2 Jonin, solve. Cat-face Anbu's tone was flat, without a trace of excitement, because he was accustomed to this situation. Under the burial, everything on the battlefield has been buried in the mud, but Anbu the cat face is no longer needed to clean the battlefield. After the task was completed, he didn't stop. After putting away the surrounding stone walls, he activated the instant body technique and flew towards the distance. After half a day, cat-faced Anbu returned to Konoha village. Grandpa Hokage's mission has been completed. After seeing Senju Tobarama, cat-faced Anbu said calmly. Yes, as expected of the emperor, the task has been completed so quickly. Senju Tobarama was overjoyed when he heard the words. Over the years, Senju Tobarama has become more and more satisfied with Toshinyao, especially after the strength of Toshinyao has grown in strength half a year ago. Senju Tobarama has regarded Tobarama as one of the future Konoha's Jinchuriki column. Yao, how long have you been in Anbu? Hearing Senju Tobarama's words, Dongshinyao couldn't help but be taken aback for a while, because Senju Tobarama didn't call him Yao directly for a long time. For more than 2 years, Senju Tobarama would call him the code name Tuhuang when he was wearing Anbu costumes. However, Dongshinyao was only stunned for a moment, and quickly reacted. Grandpa Hokage, I have been with Anbu for over 2 years. It's more than 2 years, time has passed so quickly, but your growth has surprised me. You became the sub-captain in less than 2 years. The Anbu sub-captain who is less than 10 years old. Yao, you are a real genius. Senju Tobarama exclaimed. Many thanks to Grandpa Hokage for the praise, but I prefer the title of strong to genius. Dong Shenyao said confidently in his tone. Compared with the calmness of more than 2 years ago, Dong Shenyao now has a little more edge, and this edge is brought about by the improvement of Dong Shenyao's strength. With the improvement of strength, Dong Shenyao will no longer do things. Need to be as careful as before. Ta Shenyao's words, and then suddenly laughed. Ha ha ha, yes, now you are a strong man, killing 3 Jonins at one time. With such a record, your strength is no worse than the average elite Jonin. The most common elite Jonin's strength is that he can kill 3 common Jonins at the same time. Obviously, in terms of strength, Dong Shenyao is no worse than the ordinary elite Jonin, but he is still a Jonin in terms of level. Hearing Senju Tobarama's words, Ta Shenyao couldn't help but recall the battle half a year ago. At that time, Dong Shenyao had not yet become the sub-captain of the second team. It was Anbu who sent out a task that needed the people of their second team to perform together, and the task location was in the country of Lan, which is near the land of fire. All went well, and they quickly completed the task. But somehow, everyone unexpectedly encountered Sunagaku's blocking on the way back to Konoha. As an ordinary team of Anbu, the strength of the third team and the second team is not strong. Most of the people are only ordinary Chunin, and only 2 people have reached the elite Chunin. As for Jonin, even if you count Dong Shenyao who has the strength of Jonin, and only 2 people. Sunagaku who intercepted them, there were 5 Jonin and 3 special Jonin, and the remaining 10 ninjas were also the strength of Chunin and elite Chunin. Faced with such a lineup of Sunagaku, most people are ready to die. After all, Sunagaku's strength far exceeds the strength of their second team. The last battle was very tragic. In less than 5 minutes, 5 people from the second team died, but these 5 people did not die in vain. 3 of them died with the enemy in the end. Because Jian is a Jonin, it has received the most attention from Sunagaku, and Dong Shenyao is also very strong, so he is besieged by 2 Jonin. In fact, with the strength of Dong Shenyao at that time, it was still able to cope with 2 Jonin, but later came 2 special Jonin. Facing such a lineup, Dong Shenyao couldn't stand it. The 8 inner gates, the first door opens, open. The second door is closed, open. Dong Shenyao opened the 8 inner gates to the 4th gate in one breath, and his strength skyrocketed in an instant, but instead he suppressed Sunagaku. After more than a year of practice, Dong Shenyao can actually open the 8 inner gates to the 5th gate, but with his current physical fitness, once the 5th gate is opened, it will not last long, so Dong Shenyao will only be able to open the 5th gate. Open to the 4th door. With Dong Shenyao's physical fitness at that time, only the 4th door can last for more than 10 minutes. After opening the 4 doors, Dong Shenyao has surpassed ordinary Jonin in both speed and strength. Go to hell. Dong Shenyao came to a special Jonin in an instant, and then stabbed the shadow-cutting knife directly at his heart. Because Dong Shenyao's speed was too fast, this special Jonin didn't react at all, and was directly stabbed by the shadow-chopping saber. PFF'd. The heart was pierced, and the blood spurted out. And just after Dong Shenyao beheaded this special Jonin, the bombardment of the 2 Jonin has come. I saw that the 2 of them stabbed Dong Shenyao on Dong Shenyao's body at the same time. PFF'd. Jonin's power is great. Even if Dong Shenyao had turned his body into a rock, he was still stabbed by Kuwu, but he was already elementalized at this time, so he was not injured, and directly killed another special Jonin. What's going on? The 2 Sunagaku Jonins were surprised to see that Dong Shenyao was alright. Could he be immune to physical attacks? The ninja world has all kinds of weird ninjutsu, so the 2 Sunagaku quickly thought of a possibility. Futon, wind style, vacuum sphere. Kaden, fire style, phoenix sage fire technique. After discovering that Ta Shenyao may be immune to physical attacks, the 2 Jonins hurriedly used ninjutsu to deal with Ta Shenyao, while Ta Shenyao had approached another special Jonin. Facing the ninjutsu Ta Shenyao who was calling from behind, he didn't care at all and let them attack. Ta Shenyao himself focused on dealing with this special Jonin. Chapter 166 System Update. Facing Dong Shenyao, who had opened 4 doors, this special Jonin was cut off by the shadow-slaying sword without resisting a few moves. But at the same time, Ta Shenyao's back was also attacked by ninjutsu. Puff puff. Hearing a few soft sounds, Dong Shenyao's body was directly pierced by wind bullets. Several holes appeared on his body, the front and back were transparent, and he was punched in the opposite direction, but surprisingly, not a drop of blood flowed out of the holes. Instead, some gravel fell out. The vacuum bomb had just passed, and several small fireballs had already slammed into Dong Shenyao's back. Boom. After the explosion, the clothes on Dong Shenyao's body were broken, and what was exposed under the clothes was not human skin, but rocks. What? Seeing this scene, the 2 Jonin couldn't help but be taken aback. Battle. Dong Shenyao shouted while the 2 were stunned, and attacked again. And when Dong Shenyao beheaded 2 special Jonins in a row, Ji Yan was also seriously injured. Facing the siege of 3 masters of the same level, it was not easy for him to persist until now. But in the end it is inevitable to die. However, Ji Yan was also ruthless. In the end, he used himself as a bait to put a detonating talisman on his body. Finally, the detonating talisman exploded, killing one Jonin directly. One of the remaining 2 Jonins was lucky enough to escape. The other was seriously injured. Yan died, seeing that Dong Shenyao was powerful, and finally the intact Jonin also joined in. For a while, Dong Shenyao was directly besieged by 3 Jonin, especially the Jonin who joined later was still a puppet master. It even made Dong Shenyao depressed. Although Dong Shenyao can ignore physical attacks after elementalization, the elementalization also consumes Dong Shenyao's physical strength and chakra. Once the physical strength and chakra are exhausted for a long time, he can only be slaughtered by others. However, at such a critical juncture, Dong Shenyao's potential exploded, and his control over the soil fruit was instantly improved by a large margin, which made a skill that Dong Shenyao developed before finally able to be used. Meteorites fall. Coping with the siege of the 3 Jonin, Dong Shenyao suddenly raised an arm to aim at the sky. The next moment, a large amount of earth elements gathered in the sky, and it didn't take long for a meteorite with a diameter of about 10 meters to appear in the sky more than 100 meters high. This meteorite skyfall is an upgraded version of rock falling technique. Dong Shenyao has developed this skill long ago, but it has not been used before because it consumes too much. This time, the control of the soil fruit has been broken through, so that he can use it. Compared with the rock fall technique, the power of this meteorite falling from the sky is even greater. Not only does the volume of the rock increase, but also the meteorite will generate a wind pressure in the process of falling. Under the pressure of this wind pressure, it will make the bottom of the meteorite fall. People's actions become difficult. Just like the 3 Sunagakur at this time, as the meteorite continued to descend, a terrifying air current swept towards the ground. Under the pressure of this air current, the 3 Sunagakur slowed down, and Dong Shenyao was dying. Entangled, the 3 Jonin had no chance to dodge at all. Boom! Finally, the meteorite fell, crushing the 3 people including Dong Shenyao below. However, Dong Shenyao used elementalization at the last moment, so it was fine, but the other 3 Jonin were unlucky. Last 3 Jonin were crushed to death, and the only one who survived used a puppet to block a blow for him, but his body was also seriously injured. Originally, fighting alone was not an opponent of Dong Shenyao, and now he was seriously injured, so the Jonin who survived was also beheaded by Dong Shenyao not long after. After solving the enemy, Ta Shenyao hurriedly went to support the others. Last time, all the Sunagakur who came to intercept Dong Shenyao and the others were wiped out. However, the second team also suffered heavy losses. Only 3 people survived, including Dong Shenyao. One of them was Daidu, a member of Dong Shenyao's team. However, the big head was seriously injured and both arms were broken. After surviving, he can no longer be a ninja. In the end, Dong Shenyao used the skill burial to bury everything on the battlefield, and then returned to Konoha with another living Anbu with his big head on his back. Senju Tobarama was furious after learning that Dong Shenyao and the others encountered an interception, and immediately launched an investigation. After all, if it wasn't for the leak of information, how could the people of Sunagakur village have intercepted Dong Shenyao and the others so accurately? Finally, under Senju Tobarama's investigation, a spy from Sunagakur village was indeed discovered among Anbu. How Senju Tobarama dealt with the spy Ta Shenyao, because he went to the hospital to recover after handing in the task and explaining what happened to Senju Tobarama. Although Dong Shenyao didn't suffer any injuries due to the elementalization, the opening of the 8 inner gates caused some injuries to Dong Shenyao's muscles, which required simple treatment. The impact of this battle was great. Sunagakur village lost 5 Jonin all at once. How could such a thing be concealed? Knowing that Sunagakur village sent so many masters to intercept Konoha Anbu and one team failed, which made all countries more afraid of Konoha's strength. At the same time, the name of the emperor was also spread, and he fought against 3 Jonin with 1 person, and finally won the battle. This is a proper elite Jonin level strength. Elite Jonin is already considered a high-end combat power in the ninja world, and the impact of this battle is not small, so the name of the emperor has been completely spread in the ninja world. And Dong Shenyao was a blessing in disguise in this battle. Not only did the development of Tudu fruit increase a lot, but after his injury recovered, the quality of chakra finally broke through and reached the Jonin level. So far, Dong Shenyao has officially become a Jonin. Jonin, who is less than 9 years old, may scare a lot of people if this is said. However, Dong Shenyao was not happy, because when he reached the Jonin level, the quests in the war function were refreshed, and the quest to kill Genin to get the god building point disappeared, which means that he will not be able to kill Genin in the future. Got a god point. Number of god making points for killing Chunin and above level ninjas has also decreased a lot. Chunin has only 5 points, Elite Chunin has 9 points, especially Jonin has 90 points, and Jonin has 999 points. As for why there was such a change, the system explained that Dong Shenyao's strength has been enhanced, and it is no longer difficult to kill Jonin. In order to avoid the phenomenon of his scoring, the system will make this change. Of course, if Dong Shenyao kills the stronger, there will still be a lot of magic points. This is also one of the purposes of the system, so that Dong Shenyao will continue to challenge the stronger, and then increase the speed of Dong Shenyao's cultivation, so that he can achieve success as soon as possible. God. Although Dong Shenyao complained a lot about the changes in the system, he could only accept it. Chapter 167 Promoted to Jonin. System Update. Dong Shenyao can only accept. However, the system update is not entirely bad, because as his cultivation reaches the Jonin level, the system permissions he has have also increased, which in turn enables some other functions after the system update. Dong Shenyao still likes the new functions of the system. Although Sunagakure was completely destroyed in that battle, the second unit was almost destroyed. In the end, Senju Tobarama accepted Dong Shenyao as the captain of the second unit and re-established the second unit. It has been more than half a year in the blink of an eye. At this time, the second team has been reorganized. Even compared to the original, the strength of the second team is only stronger or weaker. And just when Tashinyao was thinking about things, Senju Tobarama's voice sounded again. Yao, do you know, the war has begun. Dong Shenyao also regained his senses at this time, and frowned upon hearing this. He has also heard that just a month ago, the land of the land and the land of the wind once again fought against the land of fire, which also shows that after more than 2 years of truce, the war of the ninja world has begun again. Because the previous 3 countries signed only a truce agreement rather than an armistice agreement, it is not easy to say anything about the actions of the land country and the wind country, and the only way is to fight. The war started a month ago, and his mission this time was to intercept the spies from Iwagakure village. Yao, it's been more than 2 years since you joined Anbu, and your strength has improved a lot. Now I want to restore your identity, are you willing? Senju Tobarama asked very seriously. Recovery. Dong Shenyao was taken aback. He knew that Senju Tobarama meant to get him out of Anbu and regain his identity as a normal ninja, but he didn't understand why Senju Tobarama would let him do this. I know that you have doubts in your heart. In fact, the reason why I let you do this is to hope that you can go to the battlefield. Senju Tobarama did not hide and directly stated his true purpose. Yao, I know that you are good at Doden, Earth-style, ninjutsu, especially that meteorite falling from the sky. Once it is used, ordinary elite Jonin can't take it hard. However, this ability is still a little less powerful for the strong, but once it is used applied to war, it is a big killer for those weak ninjas, so I hope you can go to the battlefield, because your ninjutsu is very suitable for the battlefield. Quote. It turned out to be so. After listening to Senju Tobarama's narration, Tashinyao fell into deep thought. Before he joined Anbu, one was for peace and not to be missed by so many people, and the other was to kill more ninjas to gain god building points. However, since the system upgrade, he has gained less magic points by killing people. In this case, it is useless to stay in Anbu. Once he enters the battlefield, his ninjutsu will definitely kill more ninjas. At that time, even if a single ninja will give him a small number of god-building points, if the number is large, there will be a lot of god-building points accumulated together. Just when Dong Shenyao was about to agree, the sound of the system suddenly sounded. Ding! The system has officially released the battlefield mission. The S-level mission is now released to assist Konoha village to win the First Ninja World War. The mission rewards 30,000 god creation points. What? Hearing the system's voice, Dong Shenyao's eyes widened instantly. He was not surprised by the mission, but was frightened by the mission reward. Although he has accumulated tens of thousands of god creation points over the years, they are all the result of accumulation over a long period of time. Since he obtained the system, he has never obtained so many god building points at one time. Must accept. Originally, Dong Shenyao was going to go to the battlefield. How could he refuse to see such a lucrative task at this time? After accepting the mission, Dong Shenyao looked directly at Senju Tobarama and said, "Lord Hokage, I am willing to go to the battlefield and die for Konoha village without regrets." At this time, Tashinyao seems to be a die-hard loyalist of Konoha village. Although he looks a little brainless, it makes Senju Tobarama very happy. Very good, but you are the new branch of Konoha village, Jinchuriki column. Try to protect your life, because you can only serve the village better if you are alive. If other ninjas in the village heard Senju Tobarama's words, they would have been grateful at this time, and they were directly captured and brainwashed by Senju Tobarama, but Dong Shenyao was different. Although he also pretended to be excited at this time, he was disdainful in his heart. Because without Senju Tobarama saying, he can't really give his life for the village, he is not so selfless yet. It's very good. From today you are no longer the Emperor of Anbu, from today you are a Jonin of my Konoha village. With that, Senju Tobarama took out a green Jonin from under the desk. Vest. Dong Shenyao didn't hesitate, he took off Anbu's clothes and put on the green vest. Very good. Seeing the handsome Dong Shenyao, Senju Tobarama had to give a sigh of admiration. Although Dong Shenyao is only 9 years old now, if he just looks at his appearance, with his height of more than 1.7 meters, plus his mature temperament, even if Dong Shenyao is 16 years old, some people will believe it. Yao, from today onwards you are Jonin of Konoha village. The main force will set off in 3 days. Then you can go to the front line with the team. Ding! Congratulations to the host for completing the A-level task. Become a Jonin in Konoha village, and get 2,000 god-making points as a task reward. Ignored the system's voice, and gave Senju Tobarama a salute. It's Lord Hokage. At this moment, Dong Shenyao looked very formal. Yao Anbu, you don't have to go, I will arrange things there. Now you go home and rest. Then Grandpa Hokage, I am leaving. After speaking, Dong Shenyao turned and left the room. I didn't expect this to be Jonin. Walking out of the Hokage building, looking at the sun in the sky, Dong Shenyao was full of emotions. He didn't remember how long it had been since he saw such bright sunshine. For Anbu 0.5, darkness was their destination. About becoming Jonin, because his Anbu sub-commander's status was no worse than Jonin's. As for the completion of a quest, Dong Shenyao didn't care, but the 2,000 quest reward was nothing at all for Dong Shenyao, who now has more than 50,000 god-building points. In the past 2 years, Dong Shenyao has not been in vain. Before the system was updated, he killed a lot of ninjas, and he also completed some tasks released by the system, so it took more than 2 years for him to accumulate 40,000 yuan. With a lot of god constructing points, plus the original ones left over, at this time his divine constructing points have exceeded 50,000. Even if it wasn't for the system update in the last half year, I'm afraid he would have a lot more magic points. Chapter 168 Goodbye Tsunade. On the way home, Dong Shenyao was filled with emotion. After more than 2 years of Anbu's career, he has long been accustomed to Anbu's life. Now that he has suddenly withdrawn from Anbu, Dong Shenyao is really uncomfortable. After returning home, looking at the spotless appearance on the ground, Dong Shenyao couldn't help feeling warm in his heart. In the early days of joining Anbu, he took on few tasks and was able to go home often. But as he completely integrated into Anbu, he received more and more tasks, and sometimes he would stay in Anbu even if there were no tasks. So in the last month, he will have at most 3 or 4 days to go home. And since he became the squad leader, he has been even busier, and he has not been home for more than 2 months recently. And the reason why the house is still so tidy now, Dong Shenyao knew that it was Tsunade's credit. At the beginning, when Dong Shenyao came home, he found that the house was very clean, which made him a little puzzled. It was not until he found out that Tsunade was here to help him clean up when he was returning home. At this time, Dong Shenyao knew that because Tsunade had the key to his house, he knew at 15 that he was away on a mission for a long time and would not come home. After that, he often went to his house to clean up. After learning about this, Dong Shenyao was really moved. Even if Tsunade was too young to watch at that time, Dong Shenyao would have accepted Tsunade's love. I don't know how Tsunade has been doing recently. Thinking of Tsunade, Dong Shenyao realized that the girl's figure had been deeply imprinted in his heart. More than half a year ago, Tashinyao got news that Tsunade had officially graduated from the ninja school and became a disciple of Sarutobi Hiruzen as in the original book, but because Tashinya was too busy, he met Tsunade very rarely, so for Tsunade for more than half a year. Experience does not understand. It was already dusk. Dong Shenyao was going to get some food, but he just got up when he heard a sound from the door, and then the door opened. Turning his head to look, as the door opened, the first thing that appeared in Dong Shenyao's sight was a head of yellow hair. Seeing the familiar color, Dong Shenyao already recognized the person. Soon a familiar figure appeared in Dong Shenyao's line of sight. It was Tsunade, who was already 7 years old. At the same time, Tsunade had also seen Dong Shenyao. The two looked at each other for a while, and neither of them spoke. Time seemed to stand still at this moment. Yao, it's really you. I'm not dreaming. After a few minutes, Tsunade was the first to come back to his senses, looking at Dong Shenyao with a look of surprise. Tsunade, I'm back. Dong Shenyao stood up and said with a smile, and at the same time he opened his hands to Tsunade. Tsunade didn't hesitate to take off his shoes, ran over, and finally threw himself into Dong Shenyao's arms. Dong Shenyao is now 1.7 meters tall, and Tsunade has practiced the exercises that Dong Shenyao gave her because of her long-term training, so her body has developed a lot in advance, and her height is close to 1.5 meters. The two hugged each other and watched it goes up pretty well. Tsunade buried his head deeply in front of Dong Shenyao's chest, sniffing the familiar smell, and Tsunade was addicted to it. After more than 10 minutes, Dong Shenyao took the initiative to release Tsunade. Although Tsunade has grown a lot now and is much taller than 2 years ago, but unfortunately, she is still a poor breast. Looking at Tsunade's chest with a flat face, Dong Shenyao had a hard time believing that the future Tsunade turned out to be a busty existence. Sure enough, people can't look at their appearance. Who would have thought that Tsunade, which is now like an airport, would change so much in the future? Dong Shenyao felt a little emotional. Yao, how long can you stay this time? Tsunade asked reluctantly after sitting next to Tashin Yao. I can stay for 3 days this time. 3 days. Tsunade was a little surprised, because in her impression, Dong Shenyao only stayed at home for a day at most after finishing his mission. Why did it take so long this time? Tsunade was a little surprised. Because I have quit Anbu now. Dong Shenyao didn't hide it. Tsunade knew about Anbu 2 years ago. After all, Dong Shenyao often disappeared, so how could Tsunade not be puzzled, and finally pestered Senju Tobarama. Only then did he know that Dong Shenyao joined Anbu. Quit. What's going on? Tsunade was a little puzzled. She knew that Dong Shenyao was already the sub-captain of Anbu, and he became the sub-captain at the age of 9. It can be said that Dong Shenyao has a bright future, not to mention becoming a deputy in the future. Minister, at least one Anbu captain can't escape. So Tsunade wondered why Tashinyao quit Anbu at this time. Tsunade is your grandfather's arrangement. He wants me to go to the battlefield. Dong Shenyao directly confessed Senju Tobarama. What? Tsunade became anxious when he heard that Ta Shenyao was about to enter the battlefield. The battlefield is a very dangerous place. When thousands of ninjas scuffle together, even the cage-level powerhouses are in danger of falling. No, the battlefield is so dangerous. How can you go? I'll tell Grandpa now and ask him to change his order. With that, Tsunade got up and went to find Senju Tobarama. Okay Tsunade. Tashinya hurriedly pulled Tsunade back. Tsunade, don't go to Grandpa Hokage. He also asked 267 for my opinion on this matter. Dong Shenyao explained. But Yao, do you know that the battlefield is very dangerous? Tsunade was a little anxious. Don't worry Tsunade, my strength may not be very strong, but my life-saving ability is probably higher than that of cage-level powerhouses, so even if I go to the battlefield, I will be fine. Dong Shenyao comforted. This is not Dong Shenyao bragging. Relying on the ability of elementalization and the evasion technique, Dong Shenyao asked himself if he wanted to run, the average cage-level powerhouse would not be able to keep him. How could Dong Shenyao dare to go to such a dangerous place on the battlefield if he didn't have any means to save his life? Is that so? Tsunade's expression softened a bit after hearing Ta Shenyao's words. To be honest, since the two have met very little in the past 2 years, Tsunade doesn't know the extent of Dong Shenyao's strength, but she heard that Dong Shenyao killed 3 Jonins in one fell swoop half a year ago. Is also very strong now. Tsunade felt a little relieved. Yao, you can go to the battlefield, but I'm going too. Tsunade said coquettishly. No, you've just graduated less than a year ago, and going to the battlefield is a death sentence. Dong Shenyao directly and sternly rejected it. Chapter 169 Meet Friends. Faced with Tsunade's request, how could Dong Shenyao agree? Indeed, Tsunade is a genius, and Hokage's granddaughter has received good teaching since childhood. Later, he practiced with Dong Shenyao for a period of time, and learned a lot from him. The stunt made Tsunade far superior to his peers, and he was the first in his grade when he was studying at the ninja school. However, Tsunade is still too young, and she doesn't have the system to help Dong Shenyao, so now the most powerful is Chunin. A Chunin on the battlefield is not a cannon fodder, at least he is someone who is easy to die. How could Dong Shenyao let Tsunade go to the battlefield under such circumstances? Tsunade, I won't let you go to the battlefield. If you do go, I will definitely be distracted to take care of you. At that time, I may be in danger, and you don't want this to happen. Dong Shenyao is Akatsuki's persuasion with emotion and reason. Finally, under the strong persuasion of Ta Shenyao, Tsunade finally compromised. Well, then I won't go, but I will pray for you, Yao. Thank you Tsunade, Ta Shenyao said moved. Okay Tsunade, I've been talking about me before, now let's talk about yours. How did you spend the time you graduated? Dong Shenyao changed the subject. It's very simple, I have been following the instructor to perform tasks before. You don't know, Yao, the teacher is really abominable, always directing D-level and C-level tasks, either pulling weeds or picking up garbage, so annoying. Tsunade grumbled, pouting. Okay, that's what all fresh graduate genin has to do, and that's what I came here to do. Tsunade can let Shadow Clone do it if you really don't want to. Hey, that's right, why didn't I think of that? Yao, you're too smart. Tsunade cheered when he heard the words, and then raised his head and kissed Dong Shenyao on the face. This is a reward for you, don't think about it. Tsunade cheek yuhi said. Don't worry, I won't think too much. Dong Shenyao said with an ambiguous smile. Then Tsunade told a little bit about his experience in the past 6 months. Yao, do you know that one of my 2 teammates is an idiot, the tail of the crane in our class? Although he worked hard later, his talent was too poor, and he finally graduated reluctantly. Moreover, he was very annoying and often watched people giggled, and then I punched him directly in a fit of anger. Who knew he was so weak? I broke his ribs with 1 punch. Speaking of this, Tsunade stuck his tongue out embarrassedly. Hearing Tsunade, words, Tashinyao secretly broke into a cold sweat. Tsunade has practiced Teishu for so many years, and even Chunin would not dare to take a punch, let alone a genin who just graduated. At this time, Dongshinyao couldn't help but stand in silence for Jiraiya. That's right, the tale of Tsunade's crane was Jiraiya, who became Tsunade's teammate as in the original. However, although there was a moment of silence for Jiraiya, Dongshinyao was also a little gloating. Who let this kid dare to beat his future wife's attention? That's right, Tsunade was already his intended wife in Tashinyao's heart. Tsunade, you are doing the right thing. To deal with such a pervert is to teach him a lesson. Yao, I know, if he still dares to look at me in the future, I will put him in the hospital. Tsunade said with his fist clenched. At this time, Dongshinyao could already foresee Jiraiya's tragic life, but he liked it. After talking about Jiraiya, Tsunade talked about another of her teammates. His name is Orochimaru. Unlike Jiraiya, the idiot, he is a genius. His grades at the ninja school are second only to me, but he is more withdrawn and doesn't like to talk. How about your teacher? Dongshinyao asked. Teacher, our instructor is Sarutobi Hiruzen, who is also a disciple of my second grandfather. It is said that he is the strongest among the younger generation in our village. Even the second grandfather admires the teacher's talent and strength. Since Sarutobi Hiruzen is so good, Tsunade, you should study hard with him. Well, I know, but the teacher left half a month ago. It is said that he went to the front line to fight. I see. At this time, Tashinyao couldn't help but think that he had met Sarutobi Hiruzen on the front line when he was escorting supplies. Maybe I can meet him this time. Dongshinyao thought to himself. Soon the sky darkened, because Tsunade was there, so Dongshinyao prepared to show his hand and made a table of dishes directly. Wow, I didn't expect Yao's cooking skills to be so good. Tsunade exclaimed after tasting Dongshinyao's craftsmanship. Ah, it's nothing. Dongshinyao was a little embarrassed. His cooking skills were actually only average, but because he cooked all Chinese food, Tsunade had never eaten it before, so it felt particularly delicious. The two of them were very full after a meal. After dinner, the two chatted for a while, and seeing that it was getting late, Dongshinyao sent Tsunade home. 3 days passed in a blink of an eye, and Dongshinyao was with Tsunade these days. And Tsunade has nothing to do because the teacher Sarutobi Hiruzen is not there, so Tenten and Tashinyao are together. The day has come to set off. In the early morning, after Dongshinyao packed up, he left the house. In front of the Hokage building, a lot of ninjas have gathered here at this time, and these people are all about to go to the battlefield. Just when he came here, Dongshinyao met a few acquaintances. Brother Jun, Wen Yi. Ah, Yao is you. After seeing Tashinyao, Kudo-jun and Kimura Fumino were very excited because they hadn't seen each other for more than 2 years. No contact with them since Tashinyao joined Anbu. Wow, you are already Chunin, congratulations. Tashinyao said happily, looking at the Chunin vests on Kudo-shun and the two. Hey, although we are Chunin, but you have become Jonin now, and we are far from you. Although they said that, Kudo-shun and the two were still a little proud. Among all the Chunin, they were considered young, and being a Chunin at their age was considered a genius, but they couldn't compare with a monster like Dongshinyao. What about Teacher Chi? Has he been okay in the past 2 years? Dongshinyao asked. Mr. Chi, don't you think that's what it is? Kimura Fumino suddenly pointed to the front and said. Looking in the direction of Kimura Fumino's finger, Tashinyao saw Kai Uehara at a glance, but this look made him a little surprised. Chapter 170 First Meeting Uchiha. Looking in the direction of Kimura Fumino's finger, Dongshinyao found that 2 people were walking out of the Hokage building at this time. The one walking in front was Hokage Senju Tobarama, and the one who followed behind was Kei Uehara, who had just inquired about Tashinyao. Teacher. Didn't expect Uehara Kei to come out with Senju Tobarama. Yo, look at the teacher, isn't it here? Kimura Fumino laughed. Why did the teacher come out with Lord Hokage? Dong Shenyao asked curiously. Yao, I know this. Kudo-jun was a little proud at this time. Mr. Chi told us yesterday that this time he is the leader of the team, and we must listen to him. It turned out to be like this. It seems that the teacher's strength has also increased a lot in the past 2 years. Dong Shenyao showed a look of surprise. He knew that if Kai Uehara was only an elite Jonin, he would not be qualified to lead the team. Of Che, it really is a group of civilians, they have no knowledge. Just when Dong Shenyao was surprised at the breakthrough of Uehara Chi's strength, a disdainful voice suddenly sounded. Hey, who are you talking about? Kudo-jun asked loudly, looking at a ninja, who was the one who just spoke. I'm talking about you, a bunch of ignorant turtles. Dong Shenyao is not a good-tempered person, especially with the growth of strength in recent years. Dong Shenyao's original calm personality has also changed somewhat. Dong Shenyao looked at Bing 750 coldly, and found that the speaker was a young man of 16 or 17 years old, who was looking at the three of them with disdain. From the clothes of this person, Dong Shenyao found that he was a chunin, a 16 or 17-year-old chunin, not a genius, but not a bad one. Who are you? Dong Shenyao looked at the young man coldly and asked. Hearing Dong Shenyao's words, the young man couldn't help but turn his head and glance at him, but the moment he looked at Dong Shenyao, he only felt a coldness hit. As a ninja who had seen blood, he knew that this coldness was actually formed by murderous intent. What a strong murderous aura! How could he have so much murderous aura at such a young age? The young man was a little surprised, but his good background made him not have the slightest fear of Dong Shenyao. Boy, you can become a Jonin at a young age. Your talent is not bad, but it's far from our Uchiha clan. How about you, do you want to join the garrison? The young man looked at Dong Shenyao for a while and asked. Uchiha. Dong Shenyao didn't expect this person to be from the Uchiha family. It can be said that he knows too much about this family, Dong Shenyao, and even now he has the blood of the Uchiha family in his body. However, because Dong Shenyao became a ninja for a short time, and joined Anbu soon, he did not have any contact with the Uchiha family. At this time, seeing the arrogant appearance of the young man, Dong Shenyao's impression of the Uchiha family instantly dropped. He knew that the people of the Uchiha family were arrogant, but when he really met Dong Shenyao, he realized that this was no longer arrogance, but arrogance. No wonder Senju Tobarama doesn't like them. If it were me, I wouldn't like either. Dong Shenyao thought to himself. Ta Shenyao also knew that the Uchiha clan was not like this, at least Uchiha Itachi and Uchiha Shisui were good. It turns out that you belong to the Uchiha clan, but you even a little chunin dare to despise me. The people of the Uchiha clan are crazy, but Dong Shenyao is even more crazy than him. To let him join the garrison, wouldn't that be a dog for the Uchiha family, which made Ta Shenyao very angry, and the consequences of his anger were also serious. You, the young man of the Uchiha clan was furious when he heard the words. What are you? You are not called senior. Are you Uchiha clan so impolite? Dong Shenyao sneered. For the people of the Uchiha family, family honor is the most important thing, so when I heard Dong Shenyao say this, although the young man wanted to kill Dong Shenyao, he still bit Kiba and bent slightly towards Dong Shenyao. Waste. I have seen senior. Hey, that's good. Dong Shenyao directly ignored the resentment in the eyes of the young man. I'll go first if it's nothing. After speaking, the young man turned around and left, regardless of whether Dong Shenyao answered or not. Hey, wait. Dong Shenyao hurriedly stopped him. The young man stopped for a moment. He had the heart to ignore Dong Shenyao, but when he thought about the difference in identities between the two sides, and it didn't seem like he left the impression that the Uchiha family was uneducated to outsiders, the young man could only turn around. Is there anything else you can do, senior? The young man asked with a gloomy face. It's okay, I just wanted to ask what your name is. My name is Uchiha Ping. After answering, this time the young man learned to behave well and did not rush to leave. Uchiha Flat, right. As a senior, I have a piece of advice for you. Although you belong to the Uchiha family, don't be so arrogant in the future, especially in front of me, or I don't mind stepping on an ant to death. Speaking of this, a trace of murderous intent flashed in Dongshin's dazzling eyes. Humph! Uchiha Ping couldn't hear Dong Shenyao's threat, which made him hate. As a member of the Uchiha clan, when has he ever been humiliated like this? You wait for me, Uchiha thought viciously in his heart. Okay, you can go. After teaching Uchiha Ping, Dong Shenyao waved his hand to let him leave. Seeing Dong Shenyao was like killing a dog, Uchiha was in a rage, and unconsciously even opened the Sharingan. An evil pupil power permeated, and in the bloody Yuhi-colored eyes, 2 black Tomo slowed down. Turn slowly. It's just a pair of Tomo Sharingan, so they dare to be arrogant. It seems that the people of the Uchiha family really have a sense of superiority. Dong Shenyao thought to himself. Of course, he also knew that most of the families in Konoha village would have a sense of superiority when facing commoner ninjas. After all, the establishment of Konoha village is still short, and there are not many civilian ninjas, let alone strong ones, so those family ninjas are like this. In a few decades, after the civilian ninja has fully grown up, the family ninja will be somewhat restrained. Although Uchiha Ping was angry in his heart, at least he didn't lose his mind, so he could only look at Dong Shenyao with a bitter look, then turned and left. Cut, what are you pretending to be? It's awesome to think it's from the Uchiha clan. You're not going to leave in a daze in the face of Yao. Kudo Jun said disdainfully. Yao, you have to be careful, the Uchiha family is not easy to mess with. Kimura Fumino reminded. Don't worry, I know. Dong Shenyao smiled at Kimura Fumino, reassuring him. Thank you for the monthly ticket support of Occasional Health. Chapter 171 Villain. Although Dong Shenyao had a bad impression of the Uchiha family and knew that the Uchiha family would be exterminated in the future, Dong Shenyao did not despise Uchiha because of this. The people of the Uchiha clan are naturally talented. Most of the clan's cultivation talent is much stronger than that of ordinary ninjas, and as long as Sharingan is turned on, even if it is only a single Tomo, if you can use it proficiently, even if the physical skills are not too bad, it is still very easy to become a Chunin. And if you can turn on double Tomo, it will be even more incredible. If you don't fall, you can at least become a special Jonin in the future. As for the 3 Tomo, once the people of the Uchiha family open the 3 Tomo Sharingan, then it is appropriate to become a Jonin in the future, and there is even a great chance of becoming an elite Jonin. As for the quasi-shadow, it's hard to say. Because if you want to become a quasi-shadow or even cage level, it is useless to rely on Sharingan alone, unless Mangekyo is turned on. Otherwise, in addition to talent, you also need hard work and some opportunities. It is precisely because of the existence of Sharingan that although the Uchiha family has no real peak powerhouses, there is no shortage of Chunin and Jonin. If they really meet the Uchiha family, Dong Shenyao is really not an opponent now. But he is not afraid of the Uchiha family. After all, he also has a backer. With the relationship between Senju Tobarama and the Uchiha clan, Ta Shinyao promised that once he and the Uchiha clan were against each other, Senju Tobarama would definitely take the opportunity to attack the Uchiha clan. Dong Shenyao is not a fool. If he didn't have this trump card, how could he be so arrogant? Just when Kimura Fumino was about to say something, Senju Tobarama's voice suddenly sounded. You pillars of Konoha village, now Iwagakure village dares to provoke our Konoha, what do you think we should do? Fight, fight, fight. Thousands of ninjas shouted at the same time. Let's teach those bastards in Iwagakure village a good lesson. That's right, you don't even know the fuck. Seeing that everyone's emotions were aroused by himself, Senju Tobarama couldn't help but smile with satisfaction. That's right, we are going to fight hard, and beat the village of Iwagakure to fear and conquer, so that they will not dare to attack our Konoha in the future. You are about to go to the front to participate in the battle, and I would like to congratulate you on your victory. It's a success. It's a success. It's a success. The crowd shouted again. In the end, Senju Tobarama squeezed his hands, which calmed everyone down. This time, I have appointed Kei Uehara to be the commander of this support team. Do you guys have to listen carefully to Commander Kei Uehara along the way? Senju Tobarama continued. Yes. Uehara Kei's reputation is not small in Konoha village, especially there is a gossip that Uehara Kei has broken through a year ago and became a quasi-shadow. Even in Konoha village, the largest ninja village in the ninja world, quasi-kage is extremely rare, and having a quasi-kage as the commander is enough to convince the crowd. However, not everyone is convinced. There are a few people in the team who show disdain. These people are from the big family of Konoha village, including the Uchiha family and the Hyuga family. In their opinion, this commander should be and they choose from within their family, rather than letting the grassroots Kei Uehara do the job. After explaining the matter, Senju Tobarama took a few steps back and motioned for Kei Uehara to speak. Hello everyone, I'm Kei Uehara. I'm very honored to be entrusted by Lord Hokage this time, and I hope everyone can cooperate well. While speaking, Kei Uehara showed a very sunny smile on his face. I have to say that Kei Uehara is still very friendly. After he finished speaking, many people expressed their support. After briefly introducing himself, Kei Uehara made arrangements for everyone. This time, there were more than 1,200 people supporting the front line. Kei Uehara directly used 100 people as a team and divided the entire team into 12 teams, which was also convenient for management. Team leader. Among them, Dong Shenyao was assigned the post of a division captain because he was a disciple of Uehara Chi. Dong Shenyao didn't say anything about this. Although he felt a little troublesome, he was helping his teacher after all, so he didn't refuse, but some people just couldn't see such a thing. I don't agree. This Dong Shenyao is just a nameless junior, and he is not very old. Although he is Jonin, he is not qualified to be the sub-commander. But I heard that he is the disciple of the commander of Uehara Kai. I think there is something tricky in it. It was Uchiha Ping who spoke, and he gave Dong Shenyao a smug look when he said this. For a villain like Uchiha Ping, Dong Shenyao was too lazy to pay attention to him, but seeing that he dared to provoke him like this, Dong Shenyao didn't mind to teach him a lesson. Whoosh! Dong Shenyao disappeared in an instant, and the next moment he appeared in front of Uchiha Ping. Not good. Uchiha Ping was shocked and was about to defend immediately, but the difference in strength between the two sides was too great. Before Uchiha Ping could defend, Dong Shenyao's fist had already hit him in the face. Bang! Directly knocked Uchiha flat to the ground, and his nose bleeds suddenly. You're just a little chunin. Even if you question the commander's decision, you should report it to Lord Hokage, instead of calling it out. You know what you're doing is disrespectful. Dong Shenyao stepped on Uchiha flat at his feet. He looked down at Uchiha flat road. Uchiha Ping already hated Dong Shenyao to the death. He was beaten in front of so many people, and he didn't have the slightest power to fight back. His face was a big shame. Boy, the people of the Uchiha family don't allow you to teach me a lesson. At this moment, a slightly dignified voice came. Turning his head to look, Dong Shenyao found a middle-aged man in his late 30s approaching. What happened to the Uchiha family? Aren't the Uchiha family members Konoha ninjas? As a Konoha Jonin, am I not qualified to teach a junior? Dong Shenyao asked sharply. The middle-aged ninja did not expect Dong Shenyao to say such a thing. HMPH, Kiba, sharp-mouthed kid. Okay Yao, let him go. Uehara Kei also came over at this time. It's a teacher. Dong Shenyao didn't have any taboos on his identity with Uehara Chi, and directly and generously called Uehara Chi a teacher. I saw Dong Shenyao lift his foot and take a few steps back. At this time, the middle-aged ninja stepped forward and pulled Uchiha Ping up, first glared at him fiercely, and then looked at Uchiha Kai and said, Commander, this time it is my Uchiha clan that is wrong. I am here to admit the mistake for Uchiha Ping. Uchiha, you don't have to take it to heart. Yao has gone too far in handling this matter. I will teach him a lesson in a while. For now, let's just forget about it. Damn, Uchiha's good eyes flashed fiercely. Thank you Puo1106781228, and Simple D Happy for their monthly ticket support. Chapter 172 North Fortress. Seeing that Kei Uehara had exposed the matter so lightly, Uchiha was furious in his conscience. He also saw that Uehara Kai was clearly protecting Dongshinyao, otherwise if he really wanted to teach Dongshinyao, he could do it now, why would he keep it in private? But Uchiha Ryo also knew that even if he continued to entangle, there would be no other outcome of this matter, so he could only hold his anger deep in his heart. Uehara Kai, Dongshinyao. You wait for me, this matter is not over. Thinking of this, a wicked look flashed in Uchiha's eyes. If that's the case, then do as Commander Uehara Kai said. Uchiha Ping, let's go. After greeting, Uchiha Liang turned and left. Although Uchiha Ping was also very unwilling, even Uchiha Liang didn't pursue it, and he, this little Chunin, could only admit it. Thinking that he was going to discuss Dongshinyao, but he was the one who made the fool in the end, which made Uchiha Ping's hatred for Dongshinyao even deeper. After glancing at Dongshinyao vaguely, Uchiha Ping followed Uchiha Ryo and left. The turmoil just passed, and Uehara Kai, as the commander, still had a lot of work to do, so when the matter was over, he just said a simple word to Dongshinyao and left. As for Dongshinyao being the sub-captain, no one objected anymore. After all, although the sub-captain is a minor official, this is only temporary. After arriving at the front line, everything needs to be redistributed, so there is not much thought about Dongshinyao becoming the sub-captain. Senju Tobarama saw what had just happened. Seeing the Uchiha clan slumped, Senju Tobarama's eyes flashed with joy. Senju Tobarama didn't like the Uchiha family from the beginning to the end, and even if it wasn't for his brother's reasons, he wanted to destroy the Uchiha family. Uchiha, I hope you can be honest. At this moment, a fierce light flashed in Senju Tobarama's eyes. He is not a good-natured person like the third-generation Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen. Senju Tobarama is very similar to Danzo in the treatment of the Uchiha family, or Danzo inherited the dark side of Senju Tobarama. Elder, is this the case? After walking to the side, Uchiha looked at Uchiha angrily and said. What else can I do? Uchiha Ryo glared at Uchiha Ping dissatisfied after hearing the words. He was not only angry with the two of Yuan-chi, but also blamed Uchiha Ping. Uchiha Ping, what do you say you are provoking Na Dongshinyao for no reason? If you have the strength, you can do it. You are not as strong as others, but you are too embarrassed to do that kind of thing. Uchiha scolded in a bad tone. If it weren't for Uchiha Ping's unusual status, Uchiha Liang would have to teach Uchiha Ping a lesson. The elder is that Dongshinyao is too hateful. He looks down on my Uchiha clan, and he just said that our Uchiha clan are uneducated people. I can't be angry, so that's why I did that. Uchiha explained quickly. Of course, adding oil and vinegar is essential. And Uchiha Liang did not suspect that Uchiha Ping was lying to himself, or that in his opinion, except for the Uchiha family, everyone else was inferior, and everything was wrong. That Dongshinyao is too arrogant. Don't worry, anyone who offends my Uchiha clan will not end well. Uchiha said with a gloomy face. Hearing that, Uchiha Ping knew that the elder was going to take action, and he was instantly overjoyed. East Shenyao, wait for me, although I'm not your opponent, but my Uchiha family is not something you, a commoner, can provoke. Uchiha thought fiercely in his heart. Soon the 12 teams were divided, and the 12 sub-captains were also selected. Lord Hokage is ready, please allow me to wait. Kei Uehara shouted at the front of the line, watching Senju Tobarama. Senju Tobarama glanced at everyone and waved, Go! Go! Following the order of Kai Uehara, more than 1,200 ninjas took action at the same time, spreading out their bodies and running towards the entrance of the village. Although there were more than 1,000 people, the team was not chaotic when running. With 100 people as a unit, more than 1,000 people divided into 12 square formations and ran straight to the entrance of the village. A group of ninjas turned into black shadows, like lightning, and quickly disappeared into the distance. Seeing the leaving ninja, Senju Tobarama's eyes flashed with a hint of relief. These are the forces to defend the village. With these people, Konoha village can develop for a long time. If Senju Hashirama created Konoha village, then Senju Tobarama developed Konoha village single-handedly. He made Konoha village develop from a small town to a large village with a population of more than 100,000. Don't think that this is very little. You must know that Konoha has only been established for more than 10 years, and it has not yet developed to its peak state. Senju Tobarama is not married, so he has no descendants, so Konoha village is like his son. Seeing the growing prosperity of Konoha village, Senju Tobarama has feelings in his heart that no one else can understand. Soon thousands of ninjas had left the village, and 100 people formed a square, quickly shuttling through the woods. The first detachment listens to the order. As a vanguard, go ahead to investigate the enemy's situation. Yes, the detachment leader of the first detachment was a member of the Hyuga clan. After receiving the order of Kai Uehara, he quickly led the people to speed up and took a step first. The second detachment listens. You are responsible for guarding the left flank of the team. Yes. After the sub-commander took the order, he also brought people over, and then Uehara gave orders to the other teams. Seeing the teacher orderly issuing orders one after another, Dong Shenyao felt a little proud in his heart. Teachers take great pride in teaching outstanding disciples, and disciples will be proud of having great teachers. Although there are a lot of people, because everyone is patient, and the worst is Chunan's strength, so the speed of the journey is very fast. When night falls on 1.2, the group has arrived at the border of the country of fire. Because this time they went to support the battlefield of the land of earth, so they arrived at the northwest border of the land of fire at this time. On the frontier, the village of Konoha built a fortress, which was specially used to resist the enemy's attack. However, the enemy has not yet reached here, so this fortress is only used as a transit point. It was already dark at this time, so Uehara directly ordered to rest overnight at the fortress and continue on the road tomorrow. Konoha ninja stationed in the fortress. Facing the arrival of Uehara and others, the defenders of these fortresses are very enthusiastic. Yo, let me tell you, this fortress was built by the original Hokage, Sama himself, and there is even a statue of Shodai first Sama here. Chapter 173 Dream. Yo, let me tell you, this fortress was built by the first generation Hokage, Sama himself, and there is even a statue of Shodai first Sama here. As soon as he entered the fortress, Kudo-jun immediately introduced Tashinyao. Since he was on his way all day today, Kudo-jun didn't have a chance to speak at all, but he was suffocated, and now he finally had a chance. Of course Kudo-jun had to say enough at one time. Tashinyao also knew about Kudo-jun's problem and liked to talk, so he didn't make a sound and let Kudo-jun talk to himself there. Yeah, I came here last time more than 3 years ago. At that time, I followed Mr. Chi to the battlefield from here. Kudo-jun once again talked about his glorious history. After all, Dong Shenyao is too good, and there is no comparison between the two in other places. The only advantage Kudo-jun has over Dong Shenyao is that he has been on the battlefield. Of course, this is what Toshi Kudo himself thinks. At first, Tashinyao was really stunned by Kudo-jun, thinking that he had fought on the battlefield, but then Tashinyao learned from Kimura Fumino that they had indeed been to the front line for 15 years, but they were genin. How can they be qualified to go to the battlefield? Most of them usually do some reconnaissance tasks, not really go to the battlefield to fight the enemy. Just when Kudo-shun kept telling his glorious experience, the group had already arrived in a large camp, which would also be their residence tonight. Soon Uehara found the Tenni sub-commander. Today we will live in this camp. I will divide the area for you in a while, and then you will arrange the specific accommodation of the team members. After that, Uehara began to arrange tents for each team. It didn't take long for Uehara to arrange everything, and after letting them arrange their own arrangements, they left. The 12 sub-commanders did not stay, and went back after Kei Uehara left. "Yao, does Teacher Chi have anything to do with you?" Seeing Dong Shenyao's return, Kudo-jun hurriedly asked. "It's nothing, just let me arrange accommodation for everyone." "All right, come with me." After answering Kudo-shun's question, Ta Xinyao greeted everyone in the team. Uehara Kei allocated 10 tents for Dong Shenyao, so after Dong Shenyao was divided into males and females, he arranged 10 people as a group and arranged accommodation for everyone. After that, Dong Shenyao took people to collect dinner, and everyone went back to the tent. After dinner, Ta Xinyao was going to rest, but at this time Kudo-shun suddenly pulled him out of the tent. "Brother Jun, what's the matter with you?" "Yao, we're leaving here tomorrow. Aren't you ready to seize the opportunity tonight to take a good look at the fortress?" Kudo-jun said with a look of anticipation. "Ah, Brother Jun, is there anything to visit in this fort?" Dong Shenyao was a little stunned. This fort was not a tourist attraction. He really didn't know what Kudo-jun was going to visit. "Yao, don't ask, just come with me." Saying that, Kudo-jun was afraid that Dong Shenyao would run away, so he pulled up his arm and ran outside the camp. Helpless, Dong Shenyao could only follow. Kai Uehara did not prohibit Dong Shenyao and the others, and the people in the fortress did not issue any prohibitions, so the movement of Dong Shenyao and the two from leaving the camp was not hindered. Soon Ta Xinyao followed Kudo-shun to a square. At this time, there is no need for Kudo-shun to say, Dong Shenyao already knows the purpose of bringing him here. "I saw a stone statue placed in the square." The appearance of this stone statue was recognized by Ta Xinyao, and it was the appearance of Senju Hashirama. "Yo, you know, the ninja I admire the most is the original Hokage Senju Hashirama, Sama. He calmed down the chaotic Sengoku and established an orderly ninja era." Kudo-shun murmured while looking at the Senju Hashirama statue in the center of the square. "Senju Hashirama is indeed very strong." Ta Xinyao agreed. "No, not only because he is strong, but also because he has ideals. It is his ideals that drives him to become stronger. Sooner or later, I will become a powerful ninja like Senju Hashirama." Dong Xinyao stared blankly at Kudo-jun. He didn't expect the usually carefree Kudo-jun to say such philosophical words. Since I have seen Hokage ninja, Ta Xinyao knows Senju Hashirama better. He knew that Senju Hashirama wanted to create a village at a very young age, just as Toshi Kudo said, and after that Senju Hashirama could be said to have been fighting for this dream all his life. Dream, where is my dream? Dong Shenyao fell into deep thought. When he first crossed into this world, Dong Shenyao was confused, don't talk about dreams anymore, and even he wondered if he was dreaming. When he was integrated into the world because of his parents' care, Dong Shenyao never thought about such things as dreams. Because he knew the future development of Hokage, Dong Shenyao thought more about how to live, or in other words, Dong Shenyao the dream back then was to live. After learning about the death of his parents and obtaining the system, although Dong Shenyao still did not have a clear dream, he did have a goal, which was to resurrect his parents and then complete the tasks issued by the system. However, hearing Kudo-jun's words at this time reminded Dong Shenyao that he had struggled for so many years, but he didn't even have a dream or a real long-term pursuit. What exactly is my dream? Dong Shenyao asked himself a question at this time. Is it resurrecting parents? No, that's not my dream, it's just a responsibility as a child. But since I've come to this world, if I can't stand at the top and take a look at the scenery, wouldn't I be wasting this journey? A chance. At this moment, Dong Shenyao's mood changed. In the past, Dong Shenyao's hard work was only to survive better, and the other was to complete the tasks of the system. But things are different now. Dong Shenyao wants to stand on the top of the world and look down at all beings, so that the sky can no longer cover his eyes. Only in this way will he not waste his time crossing. When Kudo-shun turned to look at Ta Xinyao, he suddenly felt a sense of oppression. That is not the oppression brought about by strength, but a kind of superiority. In the past, although Dong Xinyao was Jonin, his status and strength were higher than Kudo-jun, but when facing these friends, Dong Shenyao was very easygoing, so Kudo-jun would subconsciously forget the difference in their identities. But at this moment, Kudo-jun really felt the sense of oppression brought by the powerhouse from Tashinyao. "Yao, are you okay?" Kudo-jun asked cautiously. "I'm fine." Tashinyao came back to his senses, and the momentum on his body disappeared immediately, making Toshi Kudo feel like he was just dreaming. "Sorry, it's a little late today." Chapter 174 Arrive on the battlefield. "Okay, it's getting late, let's go back." Dong Shenyao looked at Kudo-jun and said. Originally, Kudo-shun deliberately refused, and he finally came to the fort once, but he hadn't had enough fun. But for some unknown reason, when he thought of the majestic appearance of Dong Shenyao just now, Kudo-shun swallowed the words that came to his lips, and finally followed Dong Shenyao back obediently. This night, Kudo-jun was extraordinarily quiet. He had hardly spoken since he came back with Tashinyao, which surprised Kimura Fumino. He even thought that something had happened to Kudo-jun, but after questioning, Kudo-jun didn't say anything. In the end, Kimura Fumino could only give up. The night was fleeting, and after getting up early the next morning and having breakfast, the group set off on the road again. This fortress was already on the border of the Country of Fire, so the group left the Country of Fire not long after walking and entered the territory of the Country of Luo. The Country of Luo is located between the Country of Fire and the Country of Earth, and it is also the battlefield of the two countries at this time. As soon as they entered the territory of Luo Zhiguo, Dong Shenyao and the others discovered the difference. Although the war has broken out, since they have not entered the Country of Fire, Dong Shenyao and the others did not find any difference in the Country of Fire when they were on their way, but only when they approached the border of the Country of Fire. The atmosphere there was a little tense. But as soon as they entered the territory of Luo Zhiguo at this time, Dong Shenyao and the others really felt the breath of war, and at the same time they also realized the cruelty of war. After entering the Country of Luo, Dong Shenyao and others saw a lot of corpses along the way, but they were not the corpses of ninjas, but the corpses of ordinary people. Although the ninja battle will basically not involve ordinary people for no reason, but once the fight really starts, who will pay attention to the life and death of ordinary people? What's more, these people are not from their own country, so when the war breaks out, many people will be implicated and affected by the war. Even Dong Shenyao and the others encountered two burnt villages in the territory of Luji. Faced with this situation, the expressions of many ninjas who went to the battlefield for the first time became solemn. Although they had killed people as ninjas, the cruelty of the war still made their hearts heavy. Unconsciously, everyone accelerated their pace, and finally arrived at the camp set up in the territory of Luo Zhiguo in Konoha village after more than 2 hours, and this is also the real front line, because just 10 miles away from this camp is Iwagakure village. The camp is located, and between the two camps is the battlefield of the two big ninja villages. The Konoha village camp had already heard the news of the arrival of the reinforcements, so when Dong Shenyao and others arrived outside the camp, there were already people waiting outside to greet them. As the sub-captain, Tashinyao was of course at the front of the team, and at this moment he followed behind Kai Uehara. Outside the camp, Dong Shenyao saw a familiar figure. Although 3 years have passed, and it was only a quick glance at the beginning, but meeting here, Dong Shenyao still recognized this person. It is Senju Tobarama's disciple, the future 3 generations of Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen. Compared with the 3 generations of Hokage, which were already old at the beginning of the original work, Sarutobi Hiruzen was in his old age at this time, and he was full of vigorous vigor. Looking at Sarutobi Hiruzen, Dong Shenyao narrowed his eyes slightly. Although he was still several tens of meters apart, he already felt a sense of oppression from Sarutobi Hiruzen. Dong Shenyao's perception is extremely keen, and there are very few people who can give him a sense of oppression with his current strength, at least even Kei Uehara, who has reached the quasi-shadow, cannot give him such a strong sense of oppression. Young Sarutobi Hiruzen, I don't know how strong he is. Dong Shenyao thought to himself. Original work, Sarutobi Hiruzen made few shots. The first shot was in the battle with Orochimaru, and he finally sealed Orochimaru's hands at the cost of death. However, Sarutobi Hiruzen was over 60 years old at the time, and his strength had already slipped from his peak state, but even so, Sarutobi Hiruzen's strength still surpassed that of ordinary cage-level masters. The second shot was in the Fourth Ninja World War, when he was released by Impure World Reincarnation. At that time, he used 5 attributes of ninjutsu in the face of 10 Tails Sarutobi Hiruzen, which shows his title of ninjutsu doctor. Definitely not in vain. Although Sarutobi Hiruzen's current age has not reached the peak of 30 years old, but at this time Tashinyao still hopes to see the strength of Sarutobi Hiruzen. Soon the two conveniences have converged. Uehara, we meet again. Sarutobi Hiruzen is very enthusiastic about Uehara. Hello Sarutobi-sama. Okay, don't call me your lord. This time, the teacher accepts you as the commander of the Doden Earth-style unit. You can just call me by my name. Hearing Sarutobi Hiruzen's words, Tashinyao had to sigh that this world is reality. Uehara K was just an elite jonin before, so when Sarutobi Hiruzen was called an adult, Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't mean to refute it at all. But now K Uehara has become a quasi-shadow, and Sarutobi Hiruzen directly let him change his name. After hesitating for a while, Uehara Kai said, "Then I'll call you Commander." All right. Sarutobi Hiruzen did not object this time. You've worked hard all the way, go ahead and rest in the camp. Said, Sarutobi Hiruzen greeted Kai Uehara and walked towards the camp. Soon a group of thousands of people entered the camp one after another. With so many people coming, of course, it is necessary to settle well, otherwise chaos will easily occur. Fortunately, Sarutobi Hiruzen has already received the news, so tents have been prepared for everyone. As for the placement of everyone, Uehara Chi directly handed it over to the 10-ni sub-commander, including Dong Shenyao, just like last night. When everyone was settled, Uehara Kai took the 10-ni sub-commanders, including Tashinyao, to find Sarutobi Hiruzen. At this time, Kai Uehara brought Dong Shenyao and others to sit in a large tent. In this tent, besides Kai Uehara, others and Sarutobi Hiruzen, there were many other people. These were all high-level campers. The purpose of Dong Shenyao and the others was to discuss in detail the placement of these reinforcements. Sitting behind Kai Uehara, Dong Shenyao secretly looked at the people in the tent. Anbu for more than 2 years, Dong Shenyao's knowledge of Konoha ninjas has increased a lot. After all, Anbu is in charge of a lot of information about Konoha village, and he has recorded a lot of ninja information. Dong Shenyao saw 2 young men, a man and a woman, sitting beside Sarutobi Hiruzen on both sides. Comparing the information he had seen from Anbu, Dong Shenyao quickly recognized the identities of the two. Chapter 175 Uneasy Meeting. Recognized that sitting on either side of Sarutobi Hiruzen were the future advisors of the Konoha village, Homura Mitokado, and Kaharu Utatane. It's just that compared to the original period, the two are much younger at this time. Especially Kaharu Utatane, compared to the old appearance in the original book, although she is not a big beauty at this time, she is also a small beauty. Shimura Danzo in the original book, representing the darkness of Konoha, has not been seen by Dong Shenyao. With Danzo's status, it is impossible not to attend such an important meeting. It seems that Danzo is not here. Dong Shenyao thought to himself. Then Dong Shenyao shifted his gaze and looked at the others. In the tent, Dong Shenyao also met the young patriarch of the Hyuga clan, Hyuga Wild Bear. If there is no accident in the day, he should be the father of the Hyuga Hiyashi brothers. Looking at the cataract young man sitting quietly on the side, Dong Shenyao thought to himself. Then Dong Shenyao also saw the deputy chief of the Nara clan, Nara Jawei, who he had seen in the hills and mountains. At the same time, next to Nara Jawei are the deputy chiefs of the Akamichi clan and the Yamanaka clan. The 3 clans have always been advancing and retreating together, so it is normal to sit together. After that, Dong Shenyao also saw people from the Uchiha family, but Dong Shenyao 137 did not know them. After taking a final look around, Dong Shenyao found that he knew most of the people in the tent, but it was because of this that he was surprised, because there was no one who was weaker than the elite Jonin among the people he knew, and there were even a few reached the quasi-cage level. As for the other people, although Dong Shenyao didn't know him, he knew that he was definitely not weak enough to be able to sit here. Finally, I turned around Dong Shenyao and found that the one with the weakest cultivation here was actually him, because everyone else was basically at the elite Jonin level, and even the other 11 sub-captains who came with him were the same. Only him, the rank is only Jonin. Of course, if it really fights, his combat power is not weaker than the elite Jonin, and even Dong Shenyao is confident, even if he faces the shadow, he can retreat completely. And just as Dong Shenyao was looking at everyone, others were also looking at him. Especially Sarutobi Hiruzen, his eyes stopped on Dong Shenyao for nearly half a minute. As a proud student of Senju Tobarama, although Sarutobi Hiruzen has never met Ta Shenyao, he has already heard of his name and even seen his photos, so Sarutobi Hiruzen will pay so much attention to Ta Shenyao at this time. When he saw Ta Shenyao, Sarutobi Hiruzen couldn't help recalling the information about Ta Shenyao in his mind. Graduated from the ninja school early at the age of 6, and completed 2B level tasks at one time on his first mission. After graduating more than 3 months, he participated in the Chunin exam jointly organized with various countries, and became a Chunin as a champion. In the same year, he saved the Hills and Mountains defense line and became a special Jonin. Not long after that, he disappeared from everyone's sight and joined Anbu. After less than 2 years, he became the sub-captain of Anbu, killing 3 Jonin in one fell swoop. His strength was comparable to the elite Jonin, and he was less than 9 years old at the time. He was really a monster, but fortunately he is from my Konoha village people. Recalling Ta Shenyao's message, Sarutobi Hiruzen looked at Ta Shenyao with an involuntary admiration in his eyes. At the same time, he did not despise Ta Shenyao because of his age and strength, and regarded him as a matchmaker. The existence of his own level, because Sarutobi Hiruzen knew that as long as Dong Shenyao did not fall, then sooner or later his aptitude would catch up with him, or even surpass him. However, not everyone knew about Dong Shenyao like Sarutobi Hiruzen did. At this time, many people in the tent did not know Dong Shenyao. Although Dong Shenyao has done a lot of great things, after all, more than 2 years have passed. Time can erase everything. At this time, although everyone may have recorded in their memory that there was a genius named Dong Shenyao, if no one mentioned it, I am afraid no one will remember it. So at this time, many people are asking the people around him who Dong Shenyao is, and he is actually qualified to sit here. After all, Dong Shenyao looks too young, even if he is relatively mature, but his age up to 14 or 15 years old, they do not think that such a young person can have the strength on an equal footing with them. Dong Shenyao just quit Anbu, so not many people really know him. Jiwei, do you know that kid? The plump Akamichi clan deputy chief pointed to Dong Shenyao and asked about Nara Jiwei. That child. Looking at Dong Shenyao, Nara Jiwei couldn't help but recall the scene of meeting him in the hills and mountains. Although more than 2 years have passed, and Dong Shenyao has undergone some changes, he still recognized Dong Shenyao at this time because he left a deep impression on Nara Jiwei. That was a genius, a real genius. But now it looks like the genius has grown. Jiwei, don't be a fool, tell me, who is he? This time, even the deputy chief of the Yamanaka clan was interested. His name is Dong Shenyao, you should have heard of him. East Shenyao. Hearing the familiar names, the 2 deputy chiefs fell into deep thought. Ah, I remembered, it's him. The Yamanaka deputy chief suddenly exclaimed. Who is it? Akamichi deputy chief asked. Yanliang, don't you remember? The village held a commendation meeting more than 2 years ago. At that time, Lord Hokage personally conferred a person. Deputy Chief Yamanaka reminded. That's right, I remembered it. Did he take the Chunin exam and won the championship? Akamichi Yanliang asked with a look of surprise. That's right, it's him. I haven't seen him for more than 2 years. I didn't expect him to change so much. He looked like a 10-year-old child back then, but now he's almost like an adult, and he has become a Jonin. Nara Jiwei sighed. Jonin, if I remember correctly, that child seems to be less than 10 years old. Deputy Chief Yamanaka exclaimed. Yeah, he's a monster. Just as everyone was talking, Sarutobi Hiruzen spoke. Okay everyone please be quiet, now the meeting starts. Wait a minute. As soon as Sarutobi Hiruzen finished speaking, someone shouted directly. Oh, what's the matter with you, Okada-san? Sarutobi Hiruzen asked the man who spoke with a displeased face. Commander, this is a high-level meeting on the front line, what is this little kid doing here? Okada Masao asked, pointing at Tashinyao. Chapter 176 Big Fight. Hearing Okada Masao's doubts about himself, a trace of anger flashed in Dongshin's dazzling eyes. Even though he knew that he was young, it was inevitable that people would look down upon him, but being told so face to face, Dong Shenyao was still very angry. But he didn't show it, his face was still calm as water. Shogi Okada, this is Jonin Dongshinyao, and he is one of the 10 Ni sub-commanders of the reinforcements. Of course, he is qualified to sit here. Although Sarutobi Hiruzen was a little dissatisfied, he also explained. I didn't expect this kid to be Jonin, but is such a young Jonin qualified to be a squad leader? Isn't he going through the back door? Speaking of which, Okada Masaru glanced at Uehara Kei. What do you mean by Okada will give birth to you? At this time, Kei Uehara stood up. I admit that Yao is my disciple, but I made him the sub-captain not because of our relationship, but because of Yao's ability to be the sub-captain. Yo, it turns out that you have a master-apprentice relationship, no wonder. Kai Uehara, you are his master, of course you have to speak to him. I don't understand, what kind of strength an ordinary Jonin can have. Okada will be angry with Yin and Yang said. Seeing Okada's disrespect for himself, Uehara Kei was very angry. He also knew that he had just become a quasi-shadow, and his prestige in the village had not been fully established, so this Okada would dare to speak like this. Okay Okada Masao, I understand Dong Shenyao's strength, and he is qualified to sit here. Seeing Sarutobi Hiruzen's support for Dong Shenyao, everyone at the scene understood it very well, because Kei Uehara was Senju Tobarama's henchman, and Sarutobi Hiruzen was a disciple of Senju Tobarama. It's just that most people don't know that Sarutobi Hiruzen is not supporting Tashinyao, he is saying the truth. Okay, since the commander said so, then forget it. Okada Masao said that, but the expression on his face showed that he was still suspicious. Shushung Okada, if you question my strength, I can accompany you to fight. At this time, Tashinyao, who was the client, finally stood up. A fight, ha ha ha, little baby, you should go home and breastfeed. Okada Masaru sneered. Although Dong Shenyao was already burning with anger at this time, his face did not show it, but his expression became even colder. Are you afraid? Bold boy, I'm your senior, is that how you talk to seniors? Okada Masao stood up and pointed at Dong Shenyao and yelled. Senior, is there a senior like you? If you want me to respect you, then you should at least show the demeanor of being a senior. Speaking of this, the corner of Dong Shenyao's mouth evoked a mocking smile. At this time, neither Sarutobi Hiruzen nor Uehara Kei spoke again. They were going to see how Tashinyao would deal with this matter. Okay, very good. It seems that the juniors are very arrogant now, so I, as a senior, will teach the juniors well. After saying that, Okada Masaki pretended to be ready to do it. Not to be outdone, Dong Shenyao walked out from behind Kai Uehara. Wait a minute. This is Sarutobi Hiruzen finally speaking. There is no way, if he doesn't speak again, the two will fight, and the meeting will not be open by then. Commander, aren't you going to continue to cover up this arrogant kid? Okada asked with some dissatisfaction. Okay, you two give me enough time. Sarutobi Hiruzen taught the two of them with a stern face, and this time he didn't even let Dong Shenyao go. At this moment, Sarutobi Hiruzen's aura as a cage-level powerhouse broke out completely, and Tashinyao only felt like a boat in a storm. So strong, is this a cage-level master? It really isn't comparable to Jonin. Dong Shenyao's heart was hot. Okada is not feeling well at this time, he is just an elite Jonin, how can he compete with the momentum of Sarutobi Hiruzen's cage-level powerhouse, and he is also the object of Sarutobi Hiruzen's special care, so his face turns pale at this time. At this time, the other people in the tent also behaved differently. Although Sarutobi Hiruzen's momentum was not directed at them, it still leaked some momentum. Some people seemed very relaxed, while others had solemn expressions, from which we could see the strength of everyone present. It's important to have a meeting now, and your affairs will be discussed after the meeting. Sarutobi Hiruzen then regained his momentum. This time, Masao Okada didn't dare to say anything, he just sat back to his seat in silence. Dong Shenyao also didn't say anything, but he sighed in his heart. As expected of the young Sarutobi Hiruzen, it is domineering. Tashinyao knew that if this was replaced by the old Sarutobi Hiruzen, I am afraid that the way of handling it would not be like this. Although Sarutobi Hiruzen is not very mature now, but it has a momentum, which is incomparable to the old Sarutobi Hiruzen. As Sarutobi Hiruzen went into a frenzy, the matter seemed to be over. Sarutobi Hiruzen officially started to preside over the meeting, and the two parties were all silent. Dong Shenyao knew that he was an audience member at this meeting, and there was no place for him to speak at all, let alone him. Those who were qualified to speak were the quasi-shadows, and even the elite Jonin were mostly just listening. Because the main purpose of this meeting was to arrange the reinforcements of Dong Shenyao and the others, Dong Shenyao listened more carefully. First, pick out the medical ninjas and reconnaissance ninjas in the reinforcements who have special talents, and hand them over to the commanders of each unit. The rest is assigned to each unit according to the evasion skills they are good at. The entire meeting did not last very long, because Sarutobi Hiruzen only explained the general tasks, and as for the rest, he and the commanders of the various units need to conduct detailed research. Everyone, I don't know if you have any doubts about my arrangement. If you have any questions, you can put them forward. If not, then the reinforcements will be allocated according to this plan. We have no doubts. After everyone present looked at each other, they shook their heads in agreement. Very well, then let's discuss the specific allocation. I saw Sarutobi Hiruzen distribute the roster of reinforcements to everyone, and let the commanders of each army choose. Seeing that the meeting had reached this stage, Dong Shenyao was very bored, because he had nothing to do with him right now. He is now somewhat looking forward to the battle with Okada Masao. Chapter 177 Bet. Just when Tashinyao was bored, Uehara Kai suddenly turned around and handed Tashinyao a scroll. Yao, please help me take a look too. Okay. It happened that he had nothing to do, and Dong Shenyao didn't refuse, and he knew that if nothing else happened, he might have to join Kai Uehara's army. After all, what he was best at was Doden Earth Style, and Uehara Kai is the commander of the Doden Earth Style unit. After taking the scroll, Dong Shenyao began to check it seriously. On the scroll are the detailed information of each person in the reinforcements, which records the aspects that each ninja is good at. Now what Kai Uehara and the others have to do is to select the subordinates they need according to the aspects that each ninja is good at. With more than 1,000 ninjas, it would take a long time even if someone helped. In the end, it took nearly 3 hours to roughly read it and pick out the subordinates that I needed. However, this is not the end, because in addition to the selected people, there must be others that have not been selected, and arrangements must be made for these people. Among the selected people, some of them need to be adjusted because they were selected by multiple troops. In the end, it was not until dusk that the arrangement for the more than 1,200 ninjas came to an end. As a disciple of Kai Uehara, Tashinyao is also good at Doden Earth Style ninjutsu, so she was assigned to Kai Uehara's team as she wished. Okay, that's all for today's meeting. Everyone is tired. Let's go back to rest first, and then bring back the people you selected tomorrow. About Sarutobi Hiruzen's arrangement, and when they heard the meeting was over, they got up and walked out one by one. Just as Dong Shenyao followed Uehara Chi and was about to leave, a figure suddenly blocked them. Why do you want to leave now? Don't you forget what happened just now? Shushun Okada, you are not really going to care about a junior. Uehara said with a frown. He thought that Masao Okada just said that he wanted to fight Tashinyao was just angry words, and when his anger subsided, he would not continue to care about it in his capacity, but he did not expect Masao Okada to take it seriously. Uehara, what are you talking about? Just because Dong Shenyao is a junior, so I should educate him and tell him what is outside the sky. There are people outside the world, don't be so arrogant in the future. Speaking of this, Okada will directly. He glanced at Dong Shenyao provocatively. Just when Kai Uehara was about to say something, Dong Shenyao stepped forward and interjected, Teacher, leave this matter to me. Hey, Uehara K could only sigh when he saw Dong Shenyao's firm gaze. Yao, I know that your strength has improved a lot in the past 2 years, but Masao Okada is a veteran elite jonin, you have to be careful. Uehara said earnestly. Don't worry, teacher, I will be careful. After comforting Kai Uehara, Dong Shenyao looked at Masao Okada and said, didn't you always say that my strength is low? Now I can fight you, but are we right? There should be some tinkering, huh? K2, what's the point of Dong Shenyao? You must be the one who loses, so don't make any more lucky draws. I'm afraid others will say that I'm bullying the small. Everyone in the tent pouted after hearing Masao Okada's words, obviously disgusted by Masao Okada's shamelessness. When seeing Okada Masao looking for trouble with Tashinyao, all the ninjas in the tent stopped and stood aside to watch the show. This is the first time I've seen such a shameless person, isn't it considered bullying now? Akamichi Yanliang underestimated in a low voice. Because of Narajue's relationship, Akamichi Yanliang has a good impression of Dong Shenyao, and now he is a little dissatisfied when he sees Okada Masaru bullying people like this. Although Akamichi Yanliang's voice was not loud, the tent was not large at this time, and everyone's hearing was good, so basically everyone heard Akamichi Yanliang's words. Okada will be born with a slight yuhi on his cheek at this time. This is not shy, but angry. If it wasn't Akamichi Yanliang who spoke, he would have gotten angry at this time, but unfortunately the Akamichi family is not something he can afford. Speaking of which, Okada Masao is also a person who bullies the soft and fears the hard, because there is no power behind Tashinyao. Even the Tashin family is a ninja family, but now he is the only one left in the entire Tashin family, so this Okada will be born not afraid of anything. That's why he dared to provoke Dong Shenyao like this. He couldn't afford to offend the Akamichi family, so Okada Masao could only choose to ignore Akamichi Yanliang's words, and continued to look at Dong Shenyao and said, there is no need for Keidu, if you are afraid, just admit defeat. Okada will be born, you don't want to be a bitch and you have to set up a torii. If I lose, I will immediately admit my mistake to you and admit that I am a waste. If you lose, Okada will you dare to me apologize and kowtow to me. Tashinyao looked straight at Masao Okada. Okada Masao didn't expect Tashinyao to put forward such a condition. Although he didn't think he would lose, he was still very angry, because it meant that Tashinyao was despising him. Boy, this is what you said. I hope you can do it after you lose. And don't worry, if I really lose, then I will naturally kowtow to you and apologize, and I will shy away when I see you in the future. Very well, Mr. Sarutobi, I hope you can become a notary. Tashinyao said to Sarutobi Hiruzen, who had been on the sidelines since the beginning. No problem, now I declare that your bet is established. If anyone loses and does not fulfill the bet, he will be against me, Sarutobi Hiruzen. Thank you Sarutobi-sama. No thanks, I'm not helping you. If you lose, I will let you execute the bet. Sarutobi Hiruzen looked at Dongshin with a complicated expression and said. Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't know whether Dong Shenyao made such a bet because he was confident or arrogant. Although Sarutobi Hiruzen knew that Tashinyao's strength should be comparable to that of an ordinary elite 1.8 ninja, this Okada will be different. Although Sarutobi Hiruzen doesn't like this person, he has to admit that Masao Okada's strength is still very strong, and he is definitely the pinnacle of the elite jonin. The peak existence belongs to the same level of existence as Uehara Kai before the breakthrough, otherwise how could he be qualified to sit here? After confirming the bet, Dong Shenyao walked out of the tent without any further delay. Seeing this, Masaru Okada gave a wicked smile, and then walked out. Although this camp is on the front line and is a place for ninjas to rest, there is also a training ground. Although Ta Shenyao is not familiar with this place, there are people who are familiar with it. Soon, under the leadership of Sarutobi Hiruzen, the group came to the training ground. Ta Shenyao and Okada stood opposite each other, and the battle was about to break out. Chapter 178 Li Wei Top. Ding! Just as Ta Shenyao and Okada were facing each other on the training ground, and the battle was about to break out, the sound of the system suddenly sounded. It was detected that someone despised the majesty of the host, and a mandatory task is now issued to defeat the ninja Masao Okada who despised the host, and humiliate him. Task Level A, Reward 3000 God Building Points. Huh. Dong Shenyao was stunned for a moment. He did not expect that the system would issue such a task, but he said that he liked the mandatory task this time. Not bad. A smile appeared on the corner of Dong Shenyao's mouth unconsciously. Masao Okada laughed when he saw Ta Shenyao, and was immediately furious. In his opinion, Ta Shenyao was laughing at himself. Damn little bastard. Okada will be furious, and without waiting for Sarutobi Hiruzen to announce the start, he takes out the kunai and runs straight to Ta Shenyao. Come on. At this time, Dong Shenyao also came back to his senses. Seeing Okada Masaru rushing over, Dong Shenyao was not timid and took out the shadow-chopping saber directly from the seal. Huh. Dong Shenyao disappeared in an instant like electricity. When? The next moment, only 15 heard a symphony of gold and iron, and then saw the figures of Dong Shenyao and Okada Masao appear in the air, and the shadow-cutting sword and kunai collided, sparks flying. After a blow, the two fell back to the ground at the same time, and then the two of them did not stop and shot again. Dang dang dang. The collision continued to spread, and the two turned into shadows and fought in the training ground. The people watching the battle are all strong, so they can keep up with the speed of Dong Shenyao and the two. Hey, this Dong Shenyao really has two strokes, and the strength of this physique alone is not weaker than that of the ordinary elite Jonin. A ninja watching the battle sucked in a cold breath. Yeah, we have underestimated this eastern god Yao Yao. It seems that the back waves of the Yangtze River push the front waves, and one generation is stronger than the next. A ninja in his 30s sighed. 30 years old, for ninjas, they are about to enter old age. The most important thing is that after 30 years old, the strength of ninjas will gradually decline from the peak state. The multi-year-old ninja felt really old for the first time. Yeah, today's young people really can't be underestimated. I just saw the information. This Dong Shenyao is only 9 years old, and he has such strength at such a young age. If it is a few more years, I am afraid he will surpass us. At the same time, people from big families like Hyuga wild bears have to pay attention to Dong Shenyao. Although they are arrogant, they will maintain a kind of respect in the face of strong people. Although Dong Shenyao's current strength is not a real powerhouse for these big families, his talent has also attracted their attention. The onlookers sighed at the strength of Ta Shenyao one by one, and Okada Masao, who fought against Ta Shenyao, was also a little surprised at this time. He originally thought that it would not be easy to win Dong Shenyao with his strength, but after the fight, he realized that he had taken it for granted. It is true that his physical skills are above Ta Shenyao. As the pinnacle of the elite Jonin, Okada Masao is stronger than Ta Shenyao in both strength and speed, but he discovered that Ta Shenyao's sword the technique is very powerful, and it is precisely because of his outstanding swordsmanship that he is on a par with him. Damn. If it was to fight to this level with other elite Jonin, Okada Masao would not have any reaction. After all, the two sides were of similar status. But now he is facing a junior, and he is still a junior he looks down on. At this time, Masao Okada only felt that his cheeks were haired with yuhi, and he felt that the eyes of the people around him were sneering at him. After the two fought each other again, Okada was unable to exert any strength in his hands, and directly forced Dong Shenyao to withdraw. Then he did not continue to fight Dong Shenyao in close range, but threw more than 10 hands. After the sword blocked Dong Shenyao, both hands began to quickly hand seal. Are you finally going to get real? Seeing this, a group of onlookers suddenly came to the spirit and used ninjutsu, which means that the battle between the two sides has entered a fever. Sweden, water style, water dragon bullet art. Damn, you used such a powerful ninjutsu as soon as you came up. When they saw the ninja surgery Okada used, the onlookers were very surprised. Originally, they thought that Okada would use some low-level ninjas first. Let's try out Dong Shenyao. It seems Okada Masao is in a hurry. Narazi smiled. Jiwei, what do you think the final result of this battle will be? Akamichi Yanliang asked curiously. Although from the data of both sides, the winner should be Masao Okada, but as long as there is no real winner in the ninja battle, everything is possible, especially if one of them is a monster like Dong Shenyao. So I can't be sure who the final winner will be. Is Dong Shenyao really that strong? Deputy Chief Yamanaka was a little surprised. Hee, who knows, we'll just watch. Speaking of which, Narajiwei stopped talking, just continued to stare at the two on the training ground. Have you finally used ninjutsu? After seeing Okada Masaru pouring out the water dragon list, Tashinyao was not only not afraid, but showed a smile. Doden, Earth Style, Earth Flow Wall. There was no action from Dong Shenyao 753. Just when the water dragon was about to hit Dong Shenyao, a stone wall suddenly rose up and blocked Dong Shenyao. Boom! The water dragon bombarded the stone wall, but the stone wall did not move at all, without the slightest damage. The strong Doden Earth Style ninjutsu can actually block Okada Masao's Sweden water style, but have you just seen Dong Shenyao hand seal? A ninja asked curiously. No, the surrounding ninjas shook their heads when they heard the words. Could he be able to use Doden Earth Style ninjutsu without printing? Sarutobi Hiruzen was indeed thought at this time, and he thought of something that his teacher Senju Tobarama told him before. The teacher once said that Dong Shenyao has a bloodstain limit, which seems to be a bloodstain like Shidun. Could it be that the bloodstain limit gave him the ability to use Doden Earth Style without a hand seal? Thinking of this, Sarutobi Hiruzen looked towards Dong Shenyao's eyes changed slightly. Without a hand seal, which is so important for ninjas because it saves a lot of time and gives a big advantage when fighting other people. It's actually blocked. Okada will be stunned for a moment. He did not expect his ninjutsu to be easily blocked by Tashinyao. This time it's me. Chapter 179 Leeway Middle. When the stone wall blocked the water dragon, Tashinyao did not give Okada Masao another chance to attack, and launched an attack on his own initiative. And this is also the first time that Tashinyao has taken the initiative to attack since the battle with Okada Masao. Doden Earth Style Rock Hand. I saw Dong Shenyao standing quietly behind the stone wall, letting the huge water flow from both sides of his body, but he didn't see anything he did, but just stretched out his right hand, and the next moment, the ground shook. Boom! As the ground of the training ground shook for a while, a huge rock arm was slowly lifted from the ground. This rock arm is more than 10 meters high, of which the palm is 10 feet in size, and the arm is connected to the ground. Seeing this scene, even Sarutobi Hiruzen was taken aback. He had never seen such ninjutsu before. After the rock arm appeared, as Tashinyao waved his hand, he immediately saw that huge palm slapped towards Okada Masami who was standing on the ground. Not good. Seeing this scene, Masao Okada jumped up and avoided the slap of the rock palm. Bang! The huge rock palm directly hit the ground, and a roar suddenly came out, and at the same time a lot of smoke was stirred up. It's dangerous. Okada's heart palpitated, even with his elite Jonin's body. If he was hit by such a big rock palm, he would be seriously injured. Just before Okada will take a breath, he sees the rock palm raised again and continues to hit Okada. Damn, there's no end to it. Okada Masao couldn't help cursing when he saw this, but although he was angry, he had to dodge. Okada Masao once again dodged the attack of the palm, but soon, the rock palm was raised again. Okada will see this and know that if he can't destroy this rock palm, then he won't stop. Bang! The rock palm was sent again. This time Okada will be born after dodging, and directly through a few kunai. Bang! 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 Diaresis. Kunai all hit the rock palm, but couldn't do any damage to the rock palm. Masao Okada didn't care about this. Anyway, he didn't put his hope on suffering. I saw that all the detonating talismans were tied behind kunai, and when the rock palm was raised again, the explosion occurred. Boom! Several detonating talismans exploded at the same time, a violent explosion sounded, and the dust and smoke directly enveloped the palm of the rock, and a large number of crushed stones scattered and flew. Did you succeed? Okada Masao was a little nervous at this time. Not long after, with a strong wind blowing, the smoke and dust dissipated, and then the rock palm that had been destroyed for the most part appeared. Ha ha ha, it's finally done. Okada will be overjoyed, but before he can trouble Dongshinyao, he sees a large number of rocks floating from the ground, and these rocks melt into the palm of the rock piece by piece. After a long time, the rock palm recovered most of it. Damn, it can be regenerated. Okada will be depressed, and finally solve the rock palm, but people will regenerate, making all his efforts in vain. No, it seems that this rock palm cannot be destroyed, but what if the person who used this ninjutsu dies? Thinking of this, Okada Masao couldn't help but look at Tashinyao, who was still hiding behind the stone wall. Brush. Taking advantage of the recovery of the rock palm, Okada Masao took action. I saw Okada Masaru quickly ran towards Tashinyao behind the stone wall. Do you want to deal with me? Tashinyao had already seen Masao Okada's actions through Byakugan, which made him laugh disdainfully. Soon Okada Masao had passed through the stone wall. Go to hell, kid. Sweetened water style iron cannon. Okada will quickly hand seal with both hands, and then he will use ninjutsu on Tashinyao. But at this moment, a thorn suddenly rose from Okada's feet. The sudden change in the ground forced Okada to stop his ninjutsu and dodge. But Masao Okada had just avoided the thorn, and before he could stand firm, another thorn appeared from under his feet. For a time, Okada was like dancing, and he could only keep jumping on the ground. Ha ha ha, Okada will be born. You know, now you are like a big toad, jumping around is so funny. Dong Shenyao laughed directly. After hearing Tashinyao's words, Sarutobi Hiruzen and others couldn't help laughing, because they found that what Tashinyao said was very vivid. Okada Masao really wanted a toad. Damn. Okada's face instantly turned black. East Shenyao, I'm going to kill you. After shouting, Okada Masao stopped using ninjutsu, and approached Tashinyao directly by taijutsu. Konoha Whirlwind. Okada kicked Tashinyao with one leg. Bang. What? Seeing that Tashinyao blocked his attack with only his arm, Okada's expression changed. Doden Earth Style 5-finger piercing. Dongshinyao raised his other arm to face Masao Okada, and the next moment, 5 stone bullets were shot quickly. Not good. Okada Masao hurriedly dodged, but because the distance between the two was too close and the speed of the stone bullet was fast, although Okada Masao had dodged in time, he was still hit by the stone bullet on the shoulder. Seeing that Okada Masao was injured, Tashinyao was overwhelmed, and directly controlled the recovered rock arm to grab Okada Masao. In the face of Tashinyao's attack, Okada will be in a hurry for a while. Okada Masao is actually injured. Seeing the blood on Okada's shoulders, the spectators were stunned for a while. Before the competition between the two, they thought that the final winner would be Masao Okada, and it would be an overwhelming victory, but they didn't expect this to happen in the end. Masao Okada not only failed to defeat Dongshinyao, instead, he was injured and fell into a disadvantage. However, the many elite jonin present found that if it was himself, it would be difficult to defeat Dongshinyao. Not because of how powerful Tashinya is, but because he can use ninjutsu without a hand seal. Although Okada Masao is very funny to jump around there, but it's enough to watch it for a while, and it won't be interesting for a long time. Tashinyao is not going to continue like this at this time. It's time to beat you completely. Doden Earth Style Earth Shaking. Okada Masao had just landed when he suddenly found that the ground under his feet shook violently, and then it cracked open, and a crack appeared under his feet. Fortunately, Okada will dodged in time, otherwise I am afraid that he will fall into the crack. Facing the constantly cracking ground, Okada's situation was even worse. Chapter 180 Leeway below. The ground continued to crack, making Masao Okada unable to stand firm at all, and the most important thing was that the rock palm was still attacking him at this time. For a while Okada will be in a predicament. How could this be? He is just a stubborn boy, how can he be so powerful? Okada Masao was already a little regretful at this time. If he could do it all over again, he swore that he would never provoke Dong Shenyao again. It's just a pity that there is no regret medicine in the world, and the choices you make will have to bear the consequences. In fact, Okada will be unlucky. Although he is an elite jonin and a natural transformation of Akatsuki's two chakras, he is best at Suiden water style and Doden earth style, but in the face of Doden earth style Master Tashinyao, Okada Masao was very wise not to use Doden earth style. Suiden water style is restrained by Doden earth style, and Doden earth style is even more good at Tashinyao. In addition, at the beginning, Masao Okada despised Tashinyao, which is why the current situation is caused. Situation arises. If it is replaced by an elite jonin who is good at Kaden fire style, or Futon wind style, or even Raiden thunder style, it will be difficult for Dong Shenyao to win. After all, Dong Shenyao's own level is only jonin. The reason why he can fight against elite jonin is the ability of Tutubuo 853, and the powerful physical skills brought to him by Yijinjing. As for Sharingan and Byakugan, Tashinyao still uses them as a means of cracking demonic illusion and reconnaissance, and fighting them is not much. Of course, Dong Shenyao also has other trump cards, such as the 8 inner gates. Once used, Dong Shenyao can completely overpower the general elite jonin in physical skills, but the 8 inner gates is also somewhat harmful to Dong Shenyao, so unless it's a critical moment, he won't use it easily now. Seeing that the palm of his hand was shot again, at this time Okada Masao had not yet stood firm and could not dodge at all, so he had no choice but to choose to defend. Doden earth style earth flow wall. A wall of earth rose, and Masao Okada tried to fend off the attack of the rocky palm. But at this moment, Dong Shenyao directly stretched out his hand towards the earth wall, and before waiting for the rocky palm to attack, there were even cracks on the earth wall. Doden earth style ninjutsu used by others, it can still be done with a slight reduction in power. Before Okada will reinforce the earth wall, the rock palm has already been knocked down. Boom! The huge palm slapped directly on the earth wall, and the earth wall was shattered in an instant. I saw countless rubble scattered and shot, and then Okada Masao also flew out. Although he gained some time by leaning against the earth wall, he was still swept on the shoulder by the palm of the rock, and the whole person was knocked out. Seeing that Okada was about to fall to the ground, the next moment, he saw that the ground suddenly cracked. Ah! Seeing this scene, everyone in the audience could not help but exclaim, because Okada Masao was about to fall into the crack. Doden earth style earth flow cross wall. At this time, Sarutobi Hiruzen quickly hand seal, and then press the ground with both hands. Suddenly the crack disappeared and turned into a solid earth wall. Bang! Finally, Okada smashed the raw material to the ground, splashing a cloud of dust. Seeing that Sarutobi Hiruzen made his move, Dong Shenyao knew that this battle could be over, and even let the rock palm stop. Cough cough cough. After a few violent coughs, Masao Okada climbed up from the ground and stared at Tashinyao with hatred on his face. Little bastard, I'm going to kill you. Asked about Okada's words, Tashinyao's face turned cold. Okada will be born. Sarutobi Hiruzen couldn't stand it anymore, and immediately scolded. Commander. Okada Masaki looked at Sarutobi Hiruzen suspiciously. You have already lost, Sarutobi Hiruzen said with a gloomy face. He didn't expect Okada Masao to be such a person, and he used words to insult people who couldn't beat him, which made Sarutobi Hiruzen look down on Okada Masao very much. Losing. Okada will be stunned for a moment, he is a little unclear. He didn't see the cracks in the ground just now, so he didn't know that if it wasn't for Sarutobi Hiruzen's shot, he might be dead by now. That's right, Masao Okada, you've already lost. If it wasn't for the commander's action, you'd be dead. A ninja who used to have a good relationship with Masao Okada, because he didn't want Masao Okada to continue to make a fool of himself. So tell me in detail what just happened. Okada Masao was stunned, he didn't expect that he would be the one who lost in the end. Thinking of the previous bet, Okada's face suddenly flashed a trace of unwillingness. Shushun Okada, if you are not convinced, we can fight again. At this time, Tashinyao spoke. He really hoped to fight again, and he would definitely not let Masao Okada go so easily. After hearing Tashinyao's words, Okada's heart moved, but he quickly thought of the huge rock palm, and Okada's heart froze, and he was already a little scared. I'm not someone who can't afford to lose. Since I lose, I don't have to fight again. Of course, other people don't know. In fact, Okada Masao was scared, just thought he really thought so, but his views on him changed for a while. But Dongshin's dazzling eyes showed disappointment. Shaking his head slightly, Dong Shenyao didn't think about it anymore. He looked directly at Masao Okada and said, since you admit defeat, should you fulfill the bet? This. Okada was a little hesitant. If he just apologized, it would be fine, but kowtow, which made him a little hesitant. Kowtow to a junior in front of so many people, how will he face other people where he will put his face in the future? Seeing Okada's hesitant look, Dong Shenyao said with disdain, why, are you going to break the contract? Shogi Okada, if you are willing to gamble, you must admit defeat. Sarutobi Hiruzen also spoke at this time. Hearing Sarutobi Hiruzen's words, Okada will give birth for a while. He knows that this bet must be executed today, otherwise Sarutobi Hiruzen will not let him go. Puff. Okada Masaru fell to the ground with a look of humiliation. I was wrong. Be louder, I didn't hear it. Tashinyao said coldly, staring at Masaru Okada. I said I was wrong, I apologize to you. Okada Masao called out this time, and at the same time kowtowed to Dong Shenyao. It's not too bad. Forget it. My lord has a lot of it, so I will forgive you. And remember what you said before, you must retreat when you see me in the future. Yes. After saying that, Okada Masaki bit Kiba and left with a slight trembling all over his body. This is not because of fear, but because of trembling with anger.